Hello and welcome back to Dicebreaker, where we are joined by some very special guests in some very special costumes. We've got Abi and Davo from Asmodee Live.
Hey, hi, thanks for having us.
That's all right.
you.
You may recognise these faces from the live stream that went out yesterday, with one of these faces, which is pulling a very weird one, in fact, in the corner. So we're going to be playing an RPG today, one that Davo has played.
I've heard a lot about it and I've always wanted to.
So I think the only person in this room who has played is our current games master.
Sorry.
This is Dread, an RPG of horror and terrifying tales, in which instead of rolling dice, we are going to be taking blocks from a nondescript wooden block tower. Not necessarily licensed by Jenga. No. We are then going to be getting that tower high and wobbly and looking a little bit deadly, and then if you manage to take that block without the tower falling, don't worry, you've passed the test. But if you dare and fail at your quest and the tower falls, well then, dear traveller, your character will die.
Yeah, it's a diceless RPG.
Yeah. Over to you, Johnny.
Is that a hand in Johnny's beard? Asks Isabel CW1. Yes. The chat is really actually very into the costumes. The old razzle pizzazzle says, "Looking fetch, guys."
Ooh.
Thanks.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. So yeah, this is a game of Dread. Wheels has just explained it. And I'm going to give you a little intro because everyone has already made their characters by way of doing a small questionnaire written by my own fair hand. Here is the information I gave them at the start. The year is 1892, and you've been invited to Brighton, England, to attend a gala evening at Brighton Aquarium. Once on the brink of closure, the aquarium was bought at the turn of the decade by one Hector Azure Lauriston, a world-famous explorer and marine biologist. Now, after 2 years of secrecy and rumour, he stands poised to open the aquarium's doors to the public once more. The reopening of the aquarium is set to be an event of tremendous importance. Lauriston recently announced he will be exhibiting entirely new marine species hitherto unseen by mankind. The people of Britain will be admitted from tomorrow morning, but tonight these fine people will be attending a very special and exclusive preview event offering drinks, dancing and discovery. So before we get going, let's meet our band of adventurers. Could everyone please just sort of introduce their characters? You can say as much or as little about them as you like.
Abby just picked her paper up so she can start.
So I can remind myself what I wrote down 10 minutes ago. So I am Annabelle. I am a journalist. Yes.
Ooh, journalist.
Yeah. I'm just here to report on the evening's events. Don't mind me, I'll be in the corner watching you all in a non-creepy way.
I am Byron Delaney, operatic extraordinaire, and I have been invited to perform at this evening's gala.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
I'm Anna. I'm a housewife. I'm here with my husband, who's a very respected member of society. And what else was I going to tell you? I'll just tell you that much for now because I can't remember what else I was going to say. You'll find out more, don't worry.
My name's Birdie Brillo. I don't know why I'm from Australia and this just came out and I'm going to have to stick with it now.
Oh, no.
No, but I clean the aquariums. I scrub them and make sure there's no algae over all of the windows. Everyone can see everything. It's my life's work to make sure everything's clean. But I am a super huge fan of yours. I'm so excited you're here. I have your albums.
There are many. Bands and albums.
First off, your task as a group is to shuffle around a bit because Abby is half out of frame. There we go.
And now Davo's half out of frame.
There we go. It basically you're going to be playing from a family portrait.
We're happy.
Holding a... Yeah, there we go.
So, it is...
Would you like these back?
Oh, yeah, that'd be lovely. It is an evening in the year 1892. You all arrive at the aquarium as sort of the sun is just going down. It's a sort of a beautiful, lovely sunset. And you see lots of banners already strewn up in advance of the opening of the aquarium saying things like, "Come see the incredible man from the sea," and "Fantastic new creatures from the ocean's depths, never before seen by man. You shall be amazed." As you enter, there is a string quartet playing people into sort of like the lobby area. Byron, you see they notice you and sort of give a subtle nod. Bertie, you clocked off your shift earlier, but you've been asked to sort of stick around in case there are any emergency cleanups that need to be going on. They've actually rented you quite a nice tux. Under which you're wearing your Viking outfit. You know about the guest of honour, and like, there's no way I'm not coming in my tunic. Obviously, Anna, isn't it? You're circulating with your much-hated husband. Or no, do you hate your husband?
No.
No. Oh no, never mind. I'm misremembering.
Is your husband hated?
I know, he's well respected.
And you obviously have been admitted with your press pass. You're already sort of taking notes and thinking about your opening line. You know, like it was a lovely evening in Brighton. I don't know Annabelle's written style, but anyway. And Hector Lauriston sort of stands there with a dish of champagne in his hand. You know, like the weird dish, a coupe. He has a coupe glass of champagne. He's like,
I thought you meant like a dog bowl.
Yeah, fine. He has a dog bowl of champagne. He's an eccentric as well as a world-famous explorer. He stands there and sort of says, good evening. I'm so glad to invite you, to welcome you into the aquarium. Please take a drink, have a look around, and we'll be getting underway shortly. And he sort of locks eyes with you and says, Annabelle?
Hello.
Well, I have a thing to too, and he sweeps off into the background.
Nothing to read into there.
At which point the string quartet strikes up a lively tune, which is known to all Brighton residents as the Super Chat Rumba. Athena the Wilder said hello from Sudbury, Ontario, Canada, where it's snowing today. First time I've caught a Dicebreaker live stream. Love to all of you in the channel. Your videos are giving me an absolute hankering to play tabletop games, which is lovely. Josh Bunton has said, Wheels, you will not escape your wrongdoings in slaying a Johnny from the past in your absence.
What?
I don't know. Did you kill someone when you played Icarus called Johnny?
I don't think so. Okay.
And Zanzibar White says, drinks, dancing and discovery, so many bawdy jokes there. Thank you all for your super chats. They interrupted the game. So you start sort of like mingling and you're sort of, you know, as ever, free to chat amongst yourselves. You're having a drink. You're looking at some of the more mundane exhibits, which are like fish. You've been in an aquarium before. It's sort of fairly bog standard stuff. If there's anything anyone particularly wants to do at this point, just say. Otherwise, we'll move on to sort of the grand tour.
I just drink a lot.
Okay, how much are you drinking?
I don't know what's a lot. I just glass after glass of sherry.
Like a Magnum Prosecco bottle.
Could you pull a block from the Jenga tower?
No!
I actually missed a rule whereby we should have pulled 3 blocks already.
So I guess just pull 4, right? Is that?
We'll play on easy mode for now because if everyone dies, it'll be a short stream. So great. Okay. After a while, like some more people are sort of arriving. They're forming sort of like a background hubbub. You've all maybe caught one another's eyes. You know, it's been like noticing who else is around. Hector sort of stands there and goes, everybody, I would like to welcome you formally to the soon-to-reopen Brighton Aquarium. We have travelled to the very... Oh, thank you so much. Get back to work. We have travelled to the very depths of the sea to bring you some marvels, the likes of which you've never before seen in your lives. Follow me this way, and I shall astound and amaze you.
I'm astounded and amazed. Already.
Right, tour's over.
Thank you so much. Alrighty, where's my sheet? Here we go. Okay, so he leads you through, and he's sort of there are a lot more tanks of just sort of, again, fairly mundane stuff that you've already seen. And then he leads you into some rooms where you start to see curtains hanging over the exhibits. Bertie, you have been expressly, as you well know, forbidden to clean any of these or even peek behind the curtains on pain of losing your job. So I think you're quite interested to finally find out what's behind there and how badly it needs to clean.
I know what's behind there. Dirt. Like, it's filthy. I've been working here for 2 years, and literally they haven't even given it a wipe down.
Can you remind me of your character's name?
Bertie Brillo.
Brillo, that's the one. Yeah, I've got the joke now.
He says, he stands behind the rope, he stands with the rope in his hand and says, I give you the 8th wonder of the 7th sea, or something. And he pulls
Had a
it
big
back.
Hector.
He pulls back the curtain and you see a giant octopus kind of come up into view.
Ooh,
I gasp.
wow.
And he laughs and says, "Ah, ha, ha, my dear. Despite the rather enthusiastic self-fortifying you've been doing with the sherry, you've seen nothing quite yet. Watch this." And sort of like he presses a button on the wall, and you see from above the tank is lit by sort of this glowing electric light, but a little metal prong seems to descend into the water and give off a very short electric shock, which sort of stimulates the water, and you see the octopus react. He's like, "Don't worry, we're not going to harm it. It's just whenever this particular species feels it's in danger, well, watch." And the colour of the octopus starts changing rapidly, and suddenly it forms a perfect mirror. And you can all see yourself reflected as if you are like just genuinely looking in a mirror. Ooh. It's kind of shimmery. It almost looks, you know, metallic. Other people around you give sort of like a polite golf clap.
I fixed my lipstick.
For pretty much all of the exhibit, I've been looking very bored, but as soon as I saw myself in the reflection, I went, "Oh, yes."
Who was that handsome man?
Well, now I'm interested.
Excellent. All righty. He leads you on. He shows you.
I was like, "Where's this going?"
He winks and says, "There's plenty more ocean stuff where that came from."
I'm not the only fish in the sea.
He shows you a few other exhibits. He shows you sort of like giant spider crabs that are unlike anything you've ever seen before. Like they seem as big as houses. They're in these incredible tanks that seem to descend long into the floor. And he shows you sort of fish that move in ways that you've never quite thought possible, and like generally it's genuinely quite impressive. He leads you into a room and says, "Ah, we're into the final third now of our little tour, and I just wanted to show you. This is something I'm particularly proud of. We've actually found a species of shark that is almost identical to the great white in every single way, but it's tiny. It's like a little puppy. Oh. Just wait till you see this."
The diddy one.
And he leads you into a room. He's growing ever more effusive as you go around, because he's really getting into his stride now. And he brings you to sort of like, it's a tank that's freestanding in the floor, and it's entirely like circular. And it's got sort of, again, a really big bulb hanging over it, sort of strung from a big like wire that comes over the top of the tank, and he says, "Behold," and pulls this rope, and the entire curtains kind of falls from around it, and inside you see about 100 little teeny tiny great white sharks, and every single one of them is pressed up against the glass, not swimming, and staring directly at you all.
I just write, "We're supposed to be impressed by baby sharks." Do. Was weird.
Yeah, no, we're on the same wavelength. It's fine.
Please pull a block. Go on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For being sassy?
Yeah. I mean, I assume you sort of said that out loud as a quip.
I did, yeah. I want you to feel bad about it.
For Hector's benefit.
Oh my god. See, I've written that my character's really clumsy, but also it's like a self-portrait because I am as well.
I don't know how we're going to pass this if it doesn't.
Is it like a one-hand rule?
Yeah, I think
generally.
Okay.
We'll see how we get on. Hector sort of he hears your remark and he's like, "Well, I suppose it shouldn't have expected much decorum from the press in inviting them here. I really have extended you a courtesy, and I thought perhaps you might be a little bit more polite."
Just like furiously scribbling in response.
Screw you.
Worst aquarium ever.
He sort of like he looks down, sort of mutters, and seems to have lost his place. And for a second, there is sort of a very loud like bzzz noise overhead. And for a second, the light above the shark tank, and indeed sort of the other exhibits on this sort of row, goes out. And as you sort of continue to look at the tank, you see from behind you the shadow of a humanoid figure is thrown on the wall in massive relief. And I'll tell you what, if anyone wants to pull a block to see something else, then...
Yeah.
Go on then. Do we all have to pull one, or is it one person?
No, just one person.
Okay.
And I shall tell you.
Oh, hello.
That's a nice one.
Wow.
Risky.
Why would you go singular?
Well, it came out so
You should
easily.
always try and get at the middle ones, you know. No.
Thanks for your expert advice,
I
ladies.
came third in a Jenga tournament.
Wow.
That is
I know.
the worst claim to fame
Where
I've
was
ever
this
heard.
Jenga tournament exactly?
It
in
was at my
Homerton.
house.
In a pub in Homerton.
Right. Okay.
If it makes you feel better, I entered the Marble World Championships once.
There's a Marble World Championship.
We were
Oh, I thought you
driving.
said Marvel.
No, that would have been great. No, we were driving past it and we were like, yeah, we could do that. We could not do that.
Back to the aquarium.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Kenny Stoneman has done a super chat asking for a baby shark ban. Please
Oh,
do.
okay.
Saying hello, you cheeky stunners, and game dad. Thanks. Enjoy Johnny's
Right.
exceptional GMing. Oh, you. Also,
No
I vote for a baby
leaning.
shark ban, please. My sanity requires it. Anyway, Byron.
Throwing off my sassy bedroll.
No leaning on the table.
You noticed, sort of, as soon as the lights in front of you went out and you realised that there were lights kind of going on behind, you'd be able to see yourself in the reflection of this tank. So you were like, let's just see how I'm looking. And behind, sort of, you're all standing like this, you know, casually. leaning
Oh,
on
no,
one
I'm a
another.
cleaner. I'll be
Yeah.
behind.
Well, in that case, sort of between you and Anna and sort of next to Bertie, looming over you, as in, like, your head comes up to about here on it, there is a humanoid figure standing behind you. And you turn around? I'm assuming you do, because you literally physically said it. I guess Byron gives a gasp and sort of turns around. As you turn, it's gone.
Oh.
The lights come back on, kind of like with a...
As in the shadow's
behind
gone,
you.
or the figure that I just
The
saw
figure
was
you
gone?
just saw is gone.
Ooh.
It's like it was never there. And as you turn back, you see the shark tank is a roiling mass of little teeny tiny baby sharks that all are just swimming frantically at the other end of the tank. It's like they're trying to get through and away and out. They are just like, the water is being churned up into loads of bubbles. All these sharks just like, trying to get away as fast as physically possible.
Does Hector react to any of this at all? I'd like to look at how he's.
He sort
I
of...
like
he-
Hector, do you?
I'd
like to look at Hector, please.
I feel like he would react if this was like out of the ordinary, and then I would know if this was something to be scared of.
What do, Hector? Hector is kind of, you see him sort of looking at the sharks and frowning and trying to work out what they're doing, and then he sort of remembers that he's meant to be on, and he's like, that's interesting behaviour. I'm sure it's just the lights. They're very used to a routine here. You know, we feed them 2 p.m. promptly. People will be able to come and watch. Maybe we'll let the kids join in. We won't feed them to them, of course. But yeah, nothing to worry about. It's fine. It's let's move on, shall we? Why not?
I'm happy with that.
Yes, it all sounds above board.
Sounds about right.
He leads you on, and he leads you past 2 or 3 more of these sort of like curtained tanks. And at the pace he's walking, you get the feeling that he's flustered, like he's worried about losing the audience. He keeps shooting glances at you.
I'm looking very smug about
in
it.
particular. He leads you towards one tank that is particularly grand and has a massive banner over it that is like the amazing boy from the sea.
Ooh.
And it's clearly meant to be like the centerpiece of the entire aquarium. And he stands by, and as soon as he gets that rope in his hand, you can see he's really like, he has complete control of himself again. He pulls himself up to a very great height and shoots you a very venomous look. It's like, my ladies and gentlemen, and the press. We now come to the triumph of this exhibition. No, my entire career. This has never been seen before by human eyes. And I'm very proud to reveal to you, well, we call him Ned, but soon the world shall know him as the incredible, amazing Ocean Boy! And he pulls away the curtain.
Before the curtain's pulled, I say, I hope this isn't as disappointing as the first time I saw sea monkeys. Which have not yet been invented. / discovered.
What kind of creature be invented?
Give it a couple of years.
Were sea monkeys invented?
Technically, the I watched a video about this. The man who made him is actually a massive Nazi. So, but anyway, the don't worry about that though. The fact that they could be dehydrated and rehydrated was a patented thing, but they were just bugs or whatever, sea bugs. Yeah.
Well. Anyway, you're not sure if there are any sea monkeys in this new tank, but you can't see anything really in the tank. It's a very large, like aquatic environment. What's the word I'm looking for?
Aquarium.
Probably. That's the one.
Tank.
Tank. There we go. It's very large. It's got like fallen logs, like nooks and crannies and bits of coral and stuff. But if there's something you're meant to be seeing in here, you definitely can't see it.
I walk right up to it.
I was about to say I'm looking around for one of those like bits of the glass that's concave, so like
the little viewing panel.
yeah, the little magnifying bits.
It's 1892. Come on.
I'm just looking very smug about this, and I'm like, well, Daddy's inheritance was well spent, Hector.
Daddy, eh?
It's fine. It's a temporary setback. That's all it is. He hides sometimes. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. Tell you what, I'll feed him. We're meant to do this at 4 o'clock, because we do have a strict schedule. But sure, I'll show you our prize attraction. He's clearly getting just quite pissed off with you. He's quite annoyed that you were the one that accepted the request from his office to come to the gala.
Right.
Bertie, it seemed like you were going to say something.
Oh, there's just a massive smear over the front of this, tank. Like, literally, if this is your star attraction, go, give it a polish. Come on.
Pull a block to see if you can avoid the temptation to go clean the thing. I think if the tower falls at this point, I won't kill you.
Apologies.
You'll go clean it and maybe lose your job.
Oh, I think you're going to die. I think you're about to die.
This is the dodgiest pole I've ever seen.
This is falling. No,
No.
don't do it. Just
Go on,
abandon it.
Davo.
I think you'll find I am very good at cleaning.
So
Maybe not in the long term.
Right here, right now.
you don't sort of like leg it over there, but I mean,
Brisk walk.
it's up to you. Yeah, so you go and demurely clean the glass.
Yeah,
I guess.
Give it a. the Queen's
Meanwhile,
wave.
Hector Azure Lauriston has been clambering into sort of some apparatus. It's not like a full diving suit. It's more like, those like snorkel masks that are just full face, and there's a pipe leading to sort of like under the chin, or the back of the head. That makes more sense. And he sort of like calls 2 of his employees over and tells them to start working a set of bellows because he's going to go into the tank. So he then climbs up onto the top and he fetches a bucket of fish, and he's like, I will now coax him out of hiding. I mean, it is his global debut. You can't blame him for being a little shy. But bear with me one moment. And he sort of gets in the tank, and slowly there's a ladder. He sort of clambers down, gets onto the floor of the thing, sort of gives a little thumbs up to show that he's doing okay. I can't remember there is actually a scuba diving thing that's for when you are okay and it's not okay. I think is it that? I don't know.
That's what I would do.
So he sort of comes out and he sort of is wandering around. He's holding out a bit of fish, and sort of like it's difficult to see because as he's breathing out, there are a lot of bubbles rising to the surface. But you swear you see something enter the tank behind him and sort of sink down to the bottom. But he's still sort of like wandering around, waving a fish about. Your evening is going better than you could have possibly imagined.
I'm interviewing the guests. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how disappointed are you?
Well, my performance has not begun yet, so of course the night could pick up. But so far it has been dreadfully dull.
That's the title of my piece. Thank you very much.
Dull as dishwater.
You are so getting fired.
I just whisper it to you, it's fine.
So, like, a couple more minutes pass with him sort of just waggling a fish around. And then eventually you catch a bit of movement in amongst a patch of, like, seaweed that's growing up from a rock. And then, indeed, you see sort of a hand snake around this rock and grab onto it. And it looks like a human arm. And as it sort of starts to emerge, you see more like as it gets up to the shoulder, actually the skin turns a kind of the skin turns like a mottled green with some yellow stripes and patches, and then this thing kind of comes into view, and it's humanoid pretty much, but it's basically got a really long neck and the head of a giant eel, and it's kind of like, it's sort of like in a low crouch. It looks very tentative. It looks almost afraid of Lauriston. And as he sort of holds out the fish, it starts to sort of move towards him very tentatively. The crowd behind you, in a very Victorian way, is like,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I that was me as well.
and for a second,
I faint.
for a second,
Mind the Jenga
it
tower.
seems like your headline might be in jeopardy, because
Yeah.
this thing is actually quite impressive. And as you watch, he sort of like, he moves tentatively towards Lauriston, and it takes a piece of fish and sort of sinks back a little bit, and then sort of like starts to nibble on it with his like little eel mouth, and then seems to get hungry and eats it in a gulp. And he reaches out and he takes another bit of fish, and he raises it to his mouth and has a little nibble.
I'm
a little
disgusted.
nibble.
In all my years at the aquarium, I've never seen anything like this. It's you have outdone yourself, sir.
Fake!
Some people start crying with sort of shock and awe and wonder, and you can see Lauriston sort of himself relaxing, and he holds out another piece of fish, and the creature itself, Ned, seems to be relaxing as well, and he reaches out for the piece of fish, and then his arm shoots out past the fish and grabs onto Lauriston's forearm, and he pulls him into like this tight embrace and lowers his head onto his shoulder, and then suddenly there are just roses of red blooming in the water as it starts to basically just chew through his shoulder.
I'm full on scream now.
In fact, most of the crowd
Hysterical.
is starting to just scream and
Yeah.
panic.
Everyone but Byron, who is trying to figure out how he's doing the effect and asking someone to get into his special effects props.
Byron's like, oh, well.
My word!
There is a lot of thrashing going on in the tank. Sort of the bubbles streaming from the mast are getting greater and greater as Lauriston is clearly screaming. And to make matters worse, the men working the bellows are so horrified that they've stopped entirely. Some people, the sort of aquarium employees, they seem a little bit more sort of like with it. Some of them start running up and banging on the glass as hard as they
get
can.
smears on it.
They're really like boom, boom with their,
No, not with your hands.
with their palms. And one of them is like really doing that. And, he
And
was
one of
clearly
them's
on-
just been at the hors d'oeuvres as well.
Oh,
Yeah, they've got
Hummus.
greasy,
Smeared down the
greasy
sides.
fingers. And then finally at the very top of the tank, somebody emerges with a pole with a sort of metal end on it, like you saw before when they sort of got a reaction out of the octopus, and sends a small jolt through the water. And at this, sort of the conflict in the tank seems to like, break. And you see Lauriston kind of pulling with one arm, slowly starting to like swim to the surface of the tank, and he hooks himself onto the top, pulls off his mask, and just screams, "Help me!" What are you going to do?
Let's go help him. Come on. Hop, 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 hop.
I'm kind of torn.
It's your brother.
Yeah, 50-50.
Oh, but what a story it would make.
I'm looking around for my husband, who I can't find anywhere. I don't know where he's gone. That's all. Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Well, if everyone else is going to stand around, I suppose I'll walk up the steps.
Okay.
Okay.
You approach Lauriston, who is kind of like, you've got the steps and you've got a little platform, and that's what he went off into the pool. There's a ladder there, but he's a little bit further away. If you want to reach him, you're going to have to sort of reach out over the waters, try and get a grip on him.
Is there any kind of rope, or could I pull on his oxygen cord to tug him towards me?
I suppose you could, yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll do that, please.
Pull me a block.
Whilst I'm doing that, I'm also looking for, like, stage lights and... Where did the blood come from?
So you're actually doing this quite casually, because you assume it's all...
Yeah, I was like,
A
well,
hoax.
obviously the person who's supposed to be doing this in the performance has forgotten to come on. I'm shouting, line!
Amazing.
Oh wow.
Okay.
You guys are like twins.
Veronica says the blood's
We've
going all over
rehearsed.
the floor and you better clean it.
Oh,
It's a
God.
real bad day at the office.
I'm just going to go get my
Dirty.
mop. Like,
Fair enough.
It's a lot.
By Jove, he's done it.
Good job.
So you start to sort of pull Lauriston in. He at first resists and then realises what you're doing and grabs onto the pipe that you're pulling, and you sort of manage to half heave him onto the deck. He's losing a lot of blood. He's just like,
I come over and I like rip some of my dress and try and like stop the bleeding. Where is it? It's from his neck?
Yeah, he was sort of chewed up a lot around the shoulder.
Okay, well I just put like pressure around.
By Jove, man, what an incredible piece of interactive theatre.
He sort of coughs up blood on
The
his
man is bleeding to
It's
death!
not theatre, you dunderhead.
I'll say, I've never been to a theatre that got me this dirty.
Oh! I'm just going to mop that floor, just very casually from afar.
Just like budge him out of the way a little bit,
just
and just mop underneath
Yeah.
him.
Below, more than one journalist makes a remark like in their notebook, like, really? Did you just say that? That will be in the personal columns. Okay. He's like, oh, God, get my sister up here.
God, that's me. Okay. I'm like torn. I don't really want to interact with him, but I feel obliged.
He's like, he sees you there, and he's clearly not happy to have to be talking to you either.
Likewise.
I've always despised you.
Thanks.
What a good way to open proceedings.
Dear God, what have I done? There's something you need to know, and your opinion of me is already low enough that I suppose I may as well tell you as these reprobates.
Like leaning in.
Listen, that thing, it didn't come from the ocean. Not entirely. It wasn't found, it was made.
Like sea monkeys.
No.
Stop delivering my jokes with me.
I'm sorry.
You're creeping me out.
You have to stop them before it's too late. And as he tries to get out the last bit of information, an arm shoots up from the tank and buries its fingers in his belly and starts to pull him back into the water.
Ned, no!
Does anyone do anything about it?
Yeah, fearing for my own life, I kick it with my foot just to make sure it goes in without me.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
His
That's
corpse,
okay.
that is.
Wow. Okay, so you're going to try and boot.
Well, if he's already being dragged, I'm just pushing him a bit more forward so that I can then walk away.
Pull me a block just
Okay.
to see what happens on that one, because that's, oh dear.
That's quite something.
Just making
That's
sure
like
that
put on
everyone
my
hates my
nose.
character.
You do, you also
Yep.
got blood on your can
I
as
know,
well.
that's where it's come from. Should I brought a tissue with me?
You're about to get more blood on you if the RPG's going the way of which I think it will.
Did you pull one?
I did?
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
I
fine.
did
Oh,
it.
great.
Done.
Yeah, so basically everyone sees, because you're up on a platform, everybody in the room sees this creature grab Lauriston and pull him back into the water. And as he sort of goes in, you swear you see Byron take a step back and then boom!
Oh, did I not mention that when I was doing it, I was like, oh, grab my leg!
I mean, I guess it's up to you all as to whether or not you believe him when he yells, grab my leg, because it looks awful.
Oh, it wasn't convincing.
Hastily boots a dying man into the water. So there that goes. The next couple of minutes are pandemonium. There's a lot more thrashing in the water, which is now almost completely red. You can't see through it or anything. People are running around and screaming. A lot of people are fleeing the aquarium altogether. At some point, you think you hear sort of like a splash. Well, several splashes coming from the tank, but one last great splash. And you swear you hear footsteps. It's kind of tick, 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 off into the darkness. And suddenly you find yourselves quite alone with a tank full of blood.
Does this thing have a drain on it? Can I try and empty it all out? Because that's the first step, really, is to empty it and then wipe clean.
There's
You
quite
get the bleach.
there's like an emergency sluice valve.
Yeah.
But obviously, these being one-of-a-kind creatures, the likes of which the world has never seen before, it's quite hard. It's quite heavy machinery. It's quite hard to operate. It's like a two-person job. But obviously, as your role as a cleaner, you know the basics of how it works.
Yeah,
So
righty
just-
tighty, lefty loosey.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that, but it flushes the whole tank basically.
Or is it like a big toilet handle?
Yes. Like the last step is to pull down a massive handle.
There's
but
multiple
first-
steps. Wow.
There's two steps. It's like righty tighty, lefty loosey to take
Yeah.
off the safety clamp. and then
You're
you
like
have
in
to
your
pull
element.
down.
Yeah.
I'm going to level with you here. I didn't think to plan a flush, so I'm kind of making it up as I go along. But yeah, that's so. If you want to, you can.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I'll tell you what. We'll just make it one pull to flush the entire tank of blood.
Okay.
Did you
Well,
say
you
it
are
was
an
a
expert.
two-person thing? Am I seeing him do this?
Yeah.
Do you really think it's
John.
a good idea to flush it? Like, are you not scared that the boy will come out as well?
Well, no, because if the water goes down, then he's not going to be able to get out either. He's
Well, we might get sucked into the
going to
drain.
the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, you're not
Where
in the-
does
you're not
the
in the
water
water.
go?
In the sea?
No, I mean the fish boy might get sucked into the drain if he's not got an
No,
outlet.
it'll have a grate on it.
Ah.
Like you've seen, like it's so when you try and empty the bath and you get all the hair out the bottom
Ugh.
and it's all caught in the grate. It's like that. Like he'll get caught in the grate.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's hope he's very hairy.
Sorry.
I'm just stepping away from the tank.
Yeah, I'm just kind of frozen, like not quite sure what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. This is a very weird day at the office. For you.
Yeah.
KCool83 says Davo looks like a Viking that would come on shore and hand you some flowers instead of raid you.
That's the nicest compliment I've had.
Yeah, I think he's like a teddy bear Viking. It's cute.
I do think we've gone for the opposite sides of the coin because I'm literally armed.
I got that arm as well.
Oh no, of course.
Oh, but yours is adorable.
Somebody bring a weapon today.
My character just is a weapon.
I just brought some thematically appropriate beer. I found a bottle called Brighton Bell.
Ooh.
Other beers are available.
Yes.
Good. Anyway, okay, so you're going to try and flush the tank.
Yeah.
It is a two-person job, so I'm going to ask for basically 2 volunteers, and I'd like to pull a block apiece.
Does that mean
I'm
they
gonna
both
help.
have to pull one block together?
No.
Because that would be funny.
I'm gonna help.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe.
Thank you.
You reassured me that the boy's not going to get out, so I'm
No.
going to help you.
All right. So I'm slowly turning the valve, and
Twitch.
it's creaking, and it seems a bit rusty. You know.
Yeah.
You could have done a better job.
They've had some
keeping it all
absolute
clean.
cowboys in here, definitely. Okay, that's it. And then to pull the flash.
This reminds me of a play I once saw called The Builders That Were Indeed Cowboys.
Okay, you successfully flush the tank. There is indeed sort of like a filter at the bottom. It's not pretty. Like it's it's basically now just a drained aquarium. There's lots of like seaweed lying flat on the floor rather than floating majestically. And there is also sort of what's left of Hector as your Lauriston.
I've cleaned worse, honestly.
Okay.
It's just another day in the office.
Everyone in the room stares astounded.
Just pour bleach on
except
it.
for Bertie, who's like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'll deal with that.
Yeah.
That's fine, good."
Just got my gloves on.
Some lemon juice, bicarbonate of soda. That would clean that right off.
Isn't that what we put in volcanoes to make it foam?
I don't know.
It's
No,
making foam.
isn't that Mentos?
Bicarbonate of soda and vinegar. That's what I think. Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. That makes a exploding volcano.
Let's
Carry
not-
on,
let's not
Games
get down on
Master.
You're all good. I
Anyone
mean,
got
you're
any
now just
vinegar?
staring at a very, very messy tank. Just wondering if you have any bright ideas about what to do next.
Can we see the creature?
No.
Can we see an exit?
Well, that's
How
worrying.
can you see the creature if
Should be
the
in there.
tank is empty? He's gone!
I would like to look at the door in which we came.
As in to the entrance to the aquarium.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Go,
What's going on over there?
Isn't that like quite a far walk away? Because we walked through like lots of exhibitions.
I don't know. That's up to the master of ceremonies.
Yeah, I mean, you can sort of like, if you want to proceed back through to the entrance, like you absolutely can. I won't make you pull for it. It's it looks like a hell of a lot of people ran out of a place very, very quickly. You know, there are smashed glasses from drinks everywhere. There are trays of canapes. Some of them somehow have been smeared across a tank.
Oh, why?
You sort of pass the tank of little teeny tiny baby sharks, and a lot of them seem to have like stunned themselves or even just like offed themselves in their attempts to get away from whatever it was they saw.
It's morbid.
I mean, you probably know what it was now. So they're sort of floating belly up. And yeah, the doors to the aquarium will stand open. But you can leave if you want.
Well, wait, but Hector probably has some kind of office here. Should we see if he's got like, and if he does, should we see if he's got any like written notes about any of these creatures?
Yeah, let's go digging around.
You
I feel
seem
like I'm
very
like-
happy about that.
New thing to suggest.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're doing it for our own safety.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I'm kind of scared to leave this aquarium in case I come across that weird creature again.
Outside of the aquarium.
Just anywhere, yeah.
Okay.
He's disappeared, so he could be anywhere now.
But is he going to be here in the aquarium? Like, surely this is the safest place. If I was stuck in a big glass tank, I'd want to be anywhere but here. I wouldn't like break out and be like, I'm just
That's
gonna
what
chill.
I mean. That's why
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's an office within this building that we can go snooping. look at
Yeah,
some
I
notes.
reckon he's off on some kind of like Ferris Bueller's Day Off adventure right now.
Yeah.
Is there a map? Is there like, you know how some tourist attractions have like a little map with the thing saying you are here?
Bertie Brillo, you don't need a map. You work in this aquarium.
I've cleaned that. I've cleaned the maps many times.
Exactly. You know for a fact that Mr. Laurisson's his office, that's the word, is not in the main part of the aquarium. It's part of the basement. The basement you have always been forbidden to enter and clean.
We've just flushed 1,800 gallons of bloody water down there.
I hate basements.
And long have you suspected that actually there's a secret second cleaner who is allowed in the basement, and
What?
frankly it's always kind of been annoying, like it's been under your skin.
A
But
secret second cleaner.
you don't know that for sure, but you know...
I mean, what guest cleans up after themselves? I come in the morning, and then boom, all those crumbs along the floor, gone.
You know,
Tell me
I
more
had
about
a
this.
similar experience actually, and I was very annoyed. I was part of a performance, and they had a second person learning my lines. One night I was ill and didn't turn up to perform, and he did my role instead. I was mortified.
Like an understudy.
Yes, I thought they'd cancel the play. A what, sorry?
I think I gave that one 5 stars, you know.
Thank you.
Not with you in it.
Well, still part of the proceedings.
I regret to inform everybody that 5,000 meeples have just been dropped in the Twitch chat. And just to catch up everyone watching on YouTube, there's
We're
a thing-
sorry.
Oh, you've got a currency.
You have to floss.
Who else doesn't know about this?
Work.
For 5,000 meeples, you have to do a dreadful dance.
Ooh.
And there's
how do you
no
do the
music.
Monster Mash?
I don't know.
Is it like a bit of
It's like
thriller?
a.
I'm the GM, so I'm making myself exempt from this.
No,
It's got to be
not in
very
the slightest.
Well,
I mean, it is a dreadful dance because I've got a microphone.
Oh, Thriller. Thriller
Yeah.
also works.
we have no music, so
Don't
this is
demonetize our video.
I mean, we're singing it so well, they probably will.
Exactly.
Ooh,
Well, I am a
Timmy-
performer.
Shay asks, is the second cleaner's name Michael Steelwool?
Oh, I've heard of him on the cleaning service.
That cocky cleaner.
Very abrasive. His reputation precedes him.
Oh, I really wish...
Do you have these pre-planned? These are amazing.
One gripe I have with this game is it's very hard to reward you for being amazing.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to put blocks back in 'cause it's still dangerous, so... But anyway, oh well, you should probably proceed to the basement, you reckon.
Come on then,
Yep.
let's go downstairs.
I'm leading the way. I'm very excited.
Okay, the basement door is locked.
But I have a key, I'm the cleaner.
No, but you've never
Not
been.
a
I get my keys out and then I try every single one and I realise that I don't think I have the key to the basement. It's always the place that he's like, no, don't go down there. And I'm like, well, why? What's down there? And
What kind
he's
of
like,
door is it?
I read a lot of mystery
Oh,
novels.
It
I'm
is,
interested.
it's kind of, it's almost like a
You're gonna
bulkhead
Nancy
like
Drew
you
it.
get on a submarine, like it is
Oh, so I'm
big.
not going to kick
Theatre
it in.
novels, darling. You're not allowed to read novels.
I kind of wish I
That's
had...
what you
I mean, you
are.
can try and kick a bulkhead in.
No, it's okay. I'll probably break something in.
You'd have to pull a block for it, but, you know, if you survive, then...
What is it you're doing?
I was going to kick the door in.
Oh, I was going to
Oh,
use a pin
yes.
to try and unlock it.
Why don't I
It's
pour
a
my
very heavy-duty
strongest
door.
detergent on the lock to try and dissolve it?
Good idea.
I've
very
got
I
some
reckon-
strong stuff.
I reckon
what?
Victorian cleaning products were very bad for
Oh,
your
yeah.
I
health.
mean, yeah, they
So-
have like lead and mercury in the medicine, so what did they
Yeah.
put in their abrasives? Absolutely, you can try and dissolve an entire door. It's not just the lock. You're like, this will dissolve a door.
Just a little spray bottle.
Yeah. I mean, you work in an aquarium, there's some gnarly stuff. That's why you were so unconcerned about
Unfazed.
dealing up, like cleaning up an entire body.
Just
Yeah, fine.
stomping him down the drain.
What
Just-
What about the remains of Hector? Would he have the keys on him? Should we go back and see if he's got the keys?
It was very slushy.
Yeah, but like, the boy surely didn't eat the keys.
You know, I watched a play once called The Dog That Spoke and Solved Crimes, and in that they'd suggested to split up. Perhaps we split up.
I really don't think that's wise. I really don't think that's wise, even though you are getting on my nerves and I'd love to say
Well.
I mean, you're more than welcome to go off by yourself if you'd rather.
Yes, why not? I'll stroll off. I'm still not entirely convinced this is all real.
Okay, you go get the
Byron's like,
keys.
oh, well, okay, you're going to go investigate the tank.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, get the keys. I'm going to try my pin. Did you say I couldn't do a pin? Try
It's a
the.
very heavy-duty door, so I think we're either going to dissolve the entire thing with some cleaning agents, or Byron's going to manage to get himself the...
I'm just turning the aircon up because it's very hot now.
No, it's
Oh.
on.
I thought you were leaving.
Oh.
I thought you were like, no, I'm done.
I was like,
I'm gonna
damn,
go
he's
investigate."
really committing
We're
to the
splitting
whole
the party. I'm going to another room.
Okay, so yeah, we're either going to dissolve the door or you can find the keys. We'll
Yeah,
stick
let's
with
see
you for
which
the-
one happens
for
first.
the time being.
Get the keys out, I would say.
So you go to the tank, and at the bottom of it is a mushy corpse. And yeah, there's the ladder up. There's sort of the ladder down into the tank, which sort of ends halfway because normally it's full of water. You can attempt
How-
to try and get down safely.
If I was then on the bed of the tank, would I be able to reach the ladder? Is it
You'd
that
yeah,
much
you'd
of a
have to
gap?
jump for it, I think.
But a normal human who perhaps has not had that much exercise recently.
Yeah, you certainly reckon. You
I know Byron reckons he could.
Yeah, it's
but
not
do
outside
I?
the realm of possibility. You
Okay.
can do it.
Yeah, sure. I'll go
we've
down the
got this.
slippy blood ladder. Why not?
Great.
Okay. Pull a block.
Yeah, put a
All right.
block to get
I just.
get in there.
I mean, I'm not
Running out
there,
of
so I
options
can't say
now.
anything.
Yeah, that's nice and loose. That.
Oh.
Loose goose.
Oh, who did
Oh,
that one
actually,
for me?
in fairness. Yeah. Great. Yeah, you get down there. There's you feel very, very sick, as there's a lot of sort of like, because it should be as simple as looking on his belt loop or in his pockets or whatever. It's just you're not sure where those bits of him are.
Oh.
Mm.
So there's some sifting and sorting to be
This
done.
prop is very convincing.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness! Like, I mean, you even think to pocket some of it for further analysis to take it.
Oh
back to your
no,
people,
no! I would
right?
ask one of my entourage to do that.
At Fruit Batter suggested you break the glass by singing Ice.
That's such a good idea.
I'm a baritone, darling.
You get the keys, like after some grossness.
Mhm.
Sod it. Yeah, no, you do break the glass by singing an incredibly powerful note. I won't make you pull for it. If you try and do that again, obviously, I'll make you pull for it. But for now, like just to keep things moving, yeah.
Do I have to perform that note?
Yes, of course.
Do it.
Yeah. We're not making
Well,
noise.
in that case, I will perform one of my favourite numbers from
Look
the
out,
opera.
headphone users.
The Ballad of the Eater of Snakes. What a thrill! I was wondering how long it would take him to realise what I was doing. That was a video game joke. Nobody else in this room will understand. It's fine.
Smash!
Smash!
Takes apart. A corpse is blown halfway across the aquarium. It makes a massive mess.
Yes!
You're not there, so you don't.
I haven't
know.
seen it. Okay.
You're
Ignorance
sort
is
of
bliss.
like you're prepping your bottle ready to spray, and then you hear some like enormous crashing and thundering behind you.
I just stare into the distance and just.
How quickly are you moving toward the door?
Well, first I'm looking around for the journalists to see if they were going to write a review. But then after that,
3 stars.
Thank you. A bit harsh. Everyone's a critic, even the critics. But yeah, no, I'll briskly walk back. I'm still not incredibly terrified.
Oh, you're not. You're still not in a
Yeah.
hurry. Okay. But this is a bit meta. But basically, you can try and dissolve the door, or if you want to just wait for the keys to turn up. You can.
I'll just wait. I'll chill. I'm just
we
going to
should-
do some personal hygiene.
We could save
Yeah.
the chemicals for another door. To be fair.
We talk about things.
Oh God.
What to talk about? Wow.
I just give her hair tips. I'm like, I see you've got some dandruff. I have some stuff for that.
Now, I don't know how fond you are of your own scalp, but
Beg your pardon.
Just those little flakes. You just rub this through your hair, and then 7 days later, boom.
How would you know?
My wife does it.
I'm making notes for my readers. We have like a D&D column.
Yes, Queen. Of course I do.
Byron, you turn up. You have
hello.
Oh,
I
hello.
found the key. I'm afraid it's a bit dirty, but
Oh, can I get a wipe for you?
of course.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
the key, that is, right? Yeah, good.
Just shake it off.
Oh no. I love how every time you move, there's like loads of hair that falls off.
Great.
Okay, so presumably you put the key in the lock, you turn the door. It's like wow. It's very like it's dimly lit, but you can see some stairs sort of descend into a corridor of what look like offices, and then you can tell just sort of from the quality of the air down here, like this is quite a large, complex basement sort of area. As you start to head in, Anna, you hear behind you a male voice that you know very well. Anna? Anna, there you are! Where have you been? I've been looking all over for you! And your husband appears.
Oh yeah, him.
George!
What's going on?
Hector is dead. He was murdered by the creature. Did you see the creature?
What? I should say I did, and then I ran to be outside, and I rather thought you'd have the sense to come with me, but now here you are, gallivanting around with... Good Lord, is that Mr. Byron?
Yes, what a terrible husband you are.
Oh, I loved your latest... Anna, we should really be going.
I'm afraid, George. I don't want to leave here until we know more about this.
But this isn't your job. This is lunacy. It looks like it's his job well, it's her job to find out what happened and his job to clean it up.
Yeah. Go on, you go ahead. It's fine.
No, I really don't feel safe. I need to find out. I need to find out more. You go home if you want to.
No, if you're going to be obstinate, that's fair enough. But I'm certainly not letting you just gallivant around in a basement. I'm coming with you.
George, I don't need you here.
Well, I'm afraid that's just tough.
Fine.
We're really going to go over this again, Anna.
Honestly, sir, it's the 90s. Give your lady some room.
I would demand satisfaction of you, sir, but I think already enough blood has been spilled this night.
Can confirm.
Well, if you're gonna come, then come. I'm going. Oh, freezing.
Okay, so...
Name of her filthy novel.
You proceed down the stairs. There are some offices. One of them seems grander than the others. You assume this is the office of Hector Lauriston.
Oh, it's typical Hector.
It's really
I
harsh.
try and open the drawers to the...
Okay, yeah, let's say that the office isn't locked this evening. I don't think he was expecting anybody untoward to be down here. So you're searching his office, I assume?
Yeah, the drawers on his desk if he's got any.
Mm-hmm. There are quite a few...
You do the action. Has someone spent 5,000 meeples?
I was taking like several drawers at once. Anyway.
Oh, we have a new viewer on. By the way, if anyone in either of the chats is confused, we're on both the Dicebreaker YouTube channel and the Asmodee Live Twitch channel.
Yes.
So
That's why we had to dance.
yeah, we're looking at both chats, but you have a new viewer. Say
Hi,
hello.
yes, Cup. Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Yes, Cap. Good. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Good. Oh, Kegel83 says your hat is much better. This one, and that you should wear it.
This
daily.
hat. Ooh,
I saw someone in the Twitch chat that said, "I know what your T-shirt says, Johnny." Basically,
No, I don't know what you mean.
despite how well you're trying to hide it.
Yeah, that's yours. You,
Oh, it's
you
just a
do that.
pelican, isn't it?
It's just a pelican. Yeah.
He's had the key all along.
Hey,
He's
I mean, I did
He's
go to
off.
get them too.
Yeah.
There we go.
There
It
you go.
is basically the desk and its contents seem fairly mundane. It's kind of a lot of stuff about just business arrangements,
warm.
merchandising deals for the aquarium. But then you find, being a journalist, presumably you're looking in all sorts of...
Oh yeah, I'm looking for any dirt I can get on Hector.
You
You've got a giant magnifying glass, please.
obviously you find his incredibly teeny tiny secret documents, and you investigate them, and it's basically a log of reports from a lab on like the latest experiments and how they're getting on, and there's a lot about a Project Ned and how it's proceeding well. Like the latest serum seems to be working, his aggressive behaviour seems to be down. The police have stopped asking questions about, and there's sort of a bit redacted. But yeah, it seems like he wasn't lying. Like this thing was made in a lab, and they knew it was dangerous, and yet they went along with it anyway.
Can I hold it up to the light to see if I can see the redacted bit?
Yes.
Okay.
pull a block.
I was so worried you were going to say that.
How is this going to kill you?
Yeah, it's fine.
It can,
I mean, is this going to
Just
go?
get inventive.
Oh, look, this is
It's
fine.
We'll go with
it
it.
can kill people, or it can sort of just like make them unable to continue.
Okay.
But that's not an issue. There's quite a lot, like a long paragraph that makes you feel quite ill. It's basically paragraphs about missing people. And yeah, it looks like the human bits of this thing, they were sourced from somewhere before the whole was grown in a vat to completion.
Are you sharing this with us?
Yeah, I let them know this, but then I pocket it because I want to write
Absolutely,
an article
this is
about
going to
this.
make your career. You're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
win some form of
Thanks,
prize
Hector.
for this. I don't
Good
know
Lord.
when the Nobel Prize was introduced. I didn't think
It's-
to Google it.
It's like what my character said in the play, The Park of the Dinosaurs. They were so hell-bent on whether or not they could, they did not stop to think of whether they should.
I can't with this guy. Oh.
You hear the ghostly voice of Lauriston echoing down the corridor saying, "We spared no expense." Anyway, you've just finished sort of like pocketing all of this stuff when you hear a tremendous smashing noise from, like, as in the noise of smashing. Not like, there's a smashing noise from down what I think
In this
is
time
from
period, you have to be
Quartet's
clear
back.
about that. Yeah.
There is the sound of breaking glass from further down the corridor and what sounds like sort of down a flight or two of steps.
Were you singing?
Not in the past 5 seconds.
Right.
La, da, 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 da.
More smashing. Basically, every single glass-fronted cabinet in the room just explodes.
I'm so I can't. I can't.
Don't even have your broom with you.
I didn't think to bring the mop. Like, I just pick up the shards by hand. I pick up the big bits and just put them in a paper cup.
That's safe.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's very tempting to make you pull for that, but it would be too mean.
Everyone's got their shoes on, right?
Yeah.
Oh no!
That's a joke that no one
Yeah.
at home will understand.
Oh, yeah,
Don't have shoes on.
In the studio, Abby is not wearing shoes.
Yeah.
Josh Bunton, sorry, has done a super chat and says, Resident Evil much? I've played like one Resident Evil, so it's entirely coincidental, I guess.
It's just spooky, isn't
Yeah.
it? General spooky.
Yeah, now that's out of the way, smashy things further along the basement of horrors.
Is there anything that would seem like it caused the smash, or is everything just smashing out of nowhere? Is it spontaneous smashing?
Every novel I've ever read is telling me not to go downstairs. And I don't think anyone should go downstairs. So let's just leave it at that.
Should we go home? Yeah. Good time.
Yeah, that's it.
To the
Call
pub.
it a day. Yeah. Let's have a drink, have a glass of sherry.
But that was smash too.
And that's our stream.
Wait for this to all blow over.
Your husband says, yeah, we really should be going home, actually. That's too much. There's been a lot of broken glass.
Okay, well now that you've said that, I want to go downstairs. Let's go, guys.
I didn't realise he
I
was
love your
still
rebellious
here.
nature.
And it sounds like some horrible things have been going on
I'm
here.
going downstairs.
Oh, you are the absolute limit. Do you know that?
Shut up.
Um,
Don't say shut up.
Okay, so Anna, you start to head down. It's very
I
confusing
poke my
how
head
Anna
back
and
in.
Annabelle-
Yeah, sorry.
I poke my head back in.
We didn't
Fine.
communicate before.
Anybody else joining me?
Yeah, why not?
Go on then.
50s house one. Like, who's for coffee?
No, I'm not going alone.
Fair enough. I know your husband's coming behind you, like complaining all the way.
Is there a way
Well,
that we
that's
can
why I
shut
poke
the
my head
door?
back in and ask if anyone else is coming.
Oh, I
because
see.
that's not
You know,
going to work.
sometimes I think you don't want to spend time with me at all, actually.
You're coming,
I'm
right?
coming with you.
Okay, so you proceed down the stairs, and you see sort of a long line of these weird tanks that are all shrouded in darkness. Some of them look like boilers, some of them look very much not like boilers. And you see further on there's some, like a pool of water, there's a lot of broken glass, and then you see 2 human legs just lying on the floor, just poking out from the corridor.
Oh, filthy feet.
You haven't come with us.
Oh, have I not?
I don't know. Did
Yeah,
you?
absolutely.
I'm just mulling behind. It's,
Okay.
you know.
But
Okay,
you
you're-
sort of all, I
come.
presume you're all kind of
Yeah.
proceeding
Okay.
as a party, unless Byron's going off on another jaunt.
Have you ever watched Wall-E?
Yes.
You know that little cleaning robot that just follows him around?
I love Wall-E.
I know, it's the best.
I know a guy whose last name is Duwa. It's like a Netherlands name.
Dutch.
And Dutch. And his name is like De Wall, and his girlfriend's name is Eva, and it's so cute because it's like Wall and
Aww.
Eva.
That's
Anyway.
cute. That was worth the diversion.
It was, wasn't it?
So there are a couple of legs lying prone, like.
Oh,
Are they
And they're attached to something.
something?
Yeah. Why are we on the same wavelength so much?
It's like you can see that the legs poking out of what you assume to be just a person who's just been attacked and laid out or something.
After you.
Oh.
wait, so the thing has crushed it, and its leg is poking. So it's like a house has landed on it.
From
but-
where you're,
All right, Dorothy.
from where you're standing, no, it's not under a tank.
Oh,
There are
sorry.
like alleyways between them. Like there are rows and rows of tanks.
Oh, it's
Oh.
between the
Like aisles.
tanks.
It's between two
Got it.
tanks.
Oh.
There. It's not. No, it's not wearing slippers or
Just
anything.
legs.
Just legs.
Okay.
That's all you can see from where you are.
Okay, some legs, guys.
What do your novels say about this one?
I've never come across anything like this.
You've never read A Tale of Two Tanks?
No.
All right, I'll go then. Bloody hell.
Okay.
I round the corner.
You sort of round the corner and you see this pair of legs continuing up as legs are wont to do into like a pair of hips, and then above it another pair of hips and some more legs, and then sort of some more legs, and as they go up they get less like human legs and more sort of red, and they get sort of like a carapace, and then in incredibly fast motion it spins around and hisses at you.
Ooh.
Oh,
And
the leg.
basically it's like man legs on the bottom, lobster on the top. And this thing is gargantuan. Like, this won't help anyone watching at home, but it's like the length of this room, basically.
Oh, so it's a lot more lobster than leg.
Yeah. It's kind of
Tiny little
it's
legs.
many legs, but it starts off with like human legs at the back, and then like, so it's got like 6 butts.
Wow.
Well, there you go.
But it lunges at you with some like massive claws.
Okay, so there's a few things going through Byron's head.
Uh-huh.
The first one is, oh, good lord, what is that? The second one is, this is not how I would have spent my time in a laboratory fusing sea creatures with mammals. Why would you just shove human legs on a lobster? That's the dullest thing I can think of.
Hexley used to do this to my Barbies all the time.
And then the third thing is, ah! And then running away. I'm trying to dodge. I'm trying to dodge away from. I'm being swiped
I
at.
come around the corner as this is happening. I'm like, you coward.
All right, you get swiped at then.
Pull me a block.
Okay, wait. The person calling me a coward or
No.
the coward?
You're
Okay.
trying to get out of the way of this thing.
Okay. Gonna lean down a little bit slower next time. This one looks a bit. No.
Do we play the rule that if you finger it, you take it?
No, I think even if you, I believe the rule is that even if you push it quite far, you can just abandon the pull.
Yeah, you're allowed.
at any point.
Okay.
Unless it's like half hanging out, but like I think you're allowed to test them, right?
Yeah. As far
Yeah, I
as
think
I'm
that's
aware.
fine.
And what's the?
What
Sorry,
are
I
you
don't. Let me just.
doing?
What's the? You're only allowed to
3 complete rows.
Are you
3
all right
complete
there?
rows down, so I have
Yeah.
to pick the 4th one down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What about
You can see how
This
much
has been
dread
a
I've
long
played
day.
by how instantly I knew what you were asking.
Oh,
What about this one here?
It's not like. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
What
Someone's
did I
been
tell ya?
reading
I'm
a
good at this
dexterity
game.
novel.
Just because it's becoming increasingly more relevant, there is an optional rule in this game whereby if you think the tower is going to fall, you can instead choose to push it over to heroically succeed at the thing you're trying to do,
At
which is like
expense of your own
rolling a
life.
crit. However, obviously the tower falls and you take.
You can choose to just not pull and fail the action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what
Oh,
I
you
said.
can always choose not to pull.
Oh.
Yeah, and then you just suffer the
You
consequences.
would have been grasped by
Okay.
the thing. Yeah. So it sort of swipes at you and you leap back out of the way.
Mhm.
And as it sort of hisses, it bangs on the nearest tank with its claws, and you hear sort of the sound of like chitinous feet, kind of like. Tick, 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 tick.
Sure.
In or outside? In the tank or outside
So
the tank?
if you're like here, if you're if you're where you are, good one, Johnny. The lobster thing is there, and then sort of from behind it, like further off
So
in the
it's
darkness.
not coming from the lobster.
You
Oh.
hear sort of some things and some basically half human, half crab people turn up. Where it's like literally like their torsos have been split in half. So it's like crab on this side, tortured looking human on this side.
How does that
crab
even
legs.
work?
Not very well. they are quite slow, and the human bits look very upset to be alive.
Does that mean they move diagonally?
No.
Because humans want to go forward and crabs want to go
I guess
sideways.
it's sort of
Pulls
zigzagging.
themselves apart.
Yeah, they're zigzagging.
Okay.
So I would assume that if they've created stuff like this, that they would have like a way. Do they have any weapons lying around that like they could use to, or like not even weapons, but anything to kind of try and?
Surgical tools would stab something.
Yes,
Like a
anything. Is
scalpel
there
or-
anything?
Yes.
I beseech
So,
you.
You leg it down, like you sort of just start looking around frantically, and you see on the wall the same kind of like cattle prod pole that you saw them using earlier to try and sort of get Ned off of Hector. I said off of. So it's there. You can pull a block to try and seize it.
Yep, sure.
Cool.
We have a super chat.
Grumpiplier.
Whoa.
Grumpiplier? Whoa! What?
Just like,
yeah.
like didn't give a single damn. The most badass housewife around.
I'm good.
Just going to read out this very quick super chat. Love the team. DB has become my favourite channel. Not going to lie, Johnny is my absolute favourite, but you're all great. Have a happy Halloween.
Well,
I mean,
suppose I'll leave.
At least
Come on, Alex, we're out of here.
At least I didn't make you read it out. Oh dear. Okie dokie then.
to be fair, Johnny's my favourite too.
Oh, wow.
Oh, go.
Goodness.
Is there a rule in which you can push somebody else's tower over and sacrifice them?
Unfortunately not. No. So you grab hold of the shock pole. The lobster thing is kind of like rearing up now, very slow. It comes to about 8 feet tall as it sort of stands on its many legs and lets its sort of torso sort of come up. And it looks like it's getting ready to lunge at all of you again. What are the rest of you up to?
Like frantically drawing it.
Artist's impression.
Bertie?
I'm just literally just wiping all the surfaces. This place hasn't been cleaned.
God, you guys, you're like, this is like a life and death situation.
You're leaving quite the hell of a mess, lady.
Okay, so what are you going to do?
I don't know if this helps, but I'm quite good at archery. I suppose like that would help aim if I was to throw it, right?
That literally came out of
Me
nowhere.
too. I wrote that down too.
That's why Johnny gasped earlier.
I knew
Both
I
do
recognised you from the archery club.
Yeah, that's what I'm good at. Anyway, so I would assume that would give me like good aim, but that wouldn't necessarily. Would that give me anything else? Would that be good?
I mean, the problem with this game is you're still going to have to pull a Jenga block.
That's fine, I can do that.
No.
Do you pull more than one if it's hard?
No, I
I
think.
can increase the difficulty
Okay.
by making.
Let's pretend it would have been a 2.
Yeah, you know what? I would have made it a 2, but in fact, it's now a 1.
Oh my god. She's
You're
undefeatable.
Like a
supernaturally good at this. It's
She
preposterous.
won a Jenga tournament.
No, I
She
came
came
third.
third in a pub Jenga
You mean
tournament.
that in
Let's
East
slow
London there
down.
are 2 better Jenga players than you?
One of them is my boyfriend.
I'm also quite good at Jenga. Maybe we should have a...
Ooh.
Jenga off.
We did.
Instagram live it.
It's embargoed, but we do have a Jenga like on the shelf.
Wow.
Yeah.
We've also got...
And I won
So we can do
both
a Let's
games
Play.
that we played. I believe.
Well, you were on the winning team for the second one, but yeah.
Or I was the saboteur in the first one. Anyway.
Carrying on.
So, kind of heroically, Anna rushes forward with this like shock pole and manages to drive the lobster back. And as it sort of shrieks, the crab people sort of like, yeah. If you knock the tower over, it counts. By the way, no, really, it counts. Okay.
I got this. Feels weird.
But
No.
so it sort of retreats, and you've won yourself a moment's respite, I think.
Okay.
And
I'm impressed by you.
your husband rounds on you and is like, I can't believe you'd do something so reckless. We need to be out of here immediately. This is awful.
Oh, shut up, George.
No, I really insist. I honestly think
something
that you
about
and I
it.
should.
Stab him.
Hey!
And what?
And suddenly, an arm basically emerges from his chest and is slick with gore in front of you as he sort of just goes like, ah!
No!
And it's like his dying breath. He's like, really?
What?
And yeah, the arm is pulled back out, and you see sort of crouching behind you, and then sort of stands up to full height. You see the fishman has emerged from between two tanks, and you're
That's
gonna
what I'm
try
doing.
and stab him again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pulling.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go for it. Dang.
I really don't care about doing this. I feel quite confident about this.
Ah, hubris. Someday I shall end you. That's not my joke, and I use it all the time, and I feel bad about it. Oh, good. The chat is saying, "Hooray, George is dead."
No, I loved him. He was just really got on my nerves, but I did love him.
And with it, white male privilege.
You've done that as well.
Yeah, I've done it.
Bloody hell. Okay, so you sort of lance it into his shoulder, and he sort of like spins,
This is for George, I say.
gives a growl and sort of runs off into the darkness. And you hear sort of his steps on the sort of metal gangway, being like tunk, 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 tunk. And then you hear a horrible tearing sound, and suddenly the sound of gushing water.
Tearing? What could tearing be?
As in,
Like as in like metal tearing.
yeah.
That's more a creaky door, but I'm not a Foley department. I'm just one person. So
What do you mean you don't have sound effects ready?
not in my no.
We'll budget those in for the next one.
So I hear a gush of water. So I mean, surely there's water coming then, because water travels pretty quickly.
Nancy Drew is back.
Okay. Well, I'm no good at swimming.
I love the life of the sea.
Isn't
that
that
why
the
you
time
moved
and
to
place
Brighton?
for it, though?
Um,
I love water.
Do you know where the water's coming from? Is it coming from the tanks or is it coming from the sea?
Go investigate. It's you have a look around, and it appears to be gushing from like an enormous pipe, just sort of that runs through this
Okay.
wall.
So it's a plumbing issue.
I've got a giant plunger. You can kind of whack it over this. I know, this is what I deal with. You've got to whack it over
Would you please? Be a dear.
so
Right.
you're gonna whack it in the end.
with a plunger. I'm going to put a giant plunger to try and seal it.
It's an incredible idea, and
Where
I think
are you gonna
there's
get a
nothing
plunger?
wrong that I can
I just
see
have it.
coming from this.
Just have one. Some people take big turns.
I don't know if Johnny's gonna accept
We're going to
that.
try and plunge the hole in the pipe in order to seal it.
Essentially,
Well,
a big
yeah,
suction
just get the
cup.
suction on it.
Yeah.
Okay. You pull me a block to
Yeah, good luck with
stop
that.
a flood.
There's got to be 3
One
down,
block?
yeah?
I think.
So hairy.
Let's see how the first one goes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was confident.
Could make it 2 blocks.
Absolute ease there.
Mm.
Well done.
Wait.
Wait,
can
no,
do?
that's just bloodthirsty. It's fine. Don't worry.
I think somebody's gonna die quite soon. Don't worry.
Thanks.
Okie dokie.
And you guys gotta start pulling some blocks over there, am I right?
You okay?
Yeah.
It's been a long week.
Okay. Sorry, I got confused by the chat then. I'll get right back into it. Yeah, the plunger, which really is enormous, by the way. It's
It's a
like,
fold-out one.
oh right,
Industrial
okay.
duty.
But somebody carrying a plunger, it's about the same as like the Olympic torch. You know, like when they light the big Olympic torch at the actual Olympics. That's how big this plunger was. Like, it's just huge.
Just baffling
It's just
where he
like-
was hiding it. Yeah.
Quite casually, sort of just goes like. Seems to have stopped the flooding. It stops as kind of like an atmospheric sort of drip. It's like every now and then.
Ooh, do
Oh,
that again.
lovely sound.
Oh no!
You have so many talents.
I've got precisely one sound effect, and it's inconsistent.
Oh.
It's
Again,
harder
again,
when
again.
it's a lot harder when you're smiling.
Yeah, it's so much harder when you're smiling.
Could you do me a favour? Could you flip the LCD on that so we can see if
Yeah, it's in shot.
Jenga Tower's not quite out of so it's not tall enough that it's like going off the
Completely
screen.
out of frame?
Yeah, so I reckon we've got a few more few more actions left in us.
Good. Okay. So yeah, you're now just sort of there with the old. Which way are you going to go now? I hate that doll so much. I can't believe he glued it back together after I broke it.
You fixed the curse.
No, I didn't. It fixed itself.
Halloween.
No, you fixed it. I fixed it. Okay, so. Oh, how appropriate. I'm now drinking a bottle wreck porter. Other beers are available.
I love the labels on those. They're horrendous.
Aren't they all?
Graphic design is my passion.
Oh, this is the same kind of sort of graphic design that you can expect from around this aquarium, right? But which way are you going now? You've stopped up the thing.
I mean, okay, I don't really know what's going on anymore, to be honest.
Should we follow the creature?
Or should we just go home?
I mean, you've clocked off by now, right?
Okay, I'll go over time.
I've got lots of novels that need reading.
You need to find a new husband.
I forgot about him.
Oh, yeah, your husband's dead.
I hold him in my arms
What? Where is he?
on the floor.
Would you like me to write the obituary?
Yes, please.
Okay.
That's sweet.
Tell us a bit about George for the obit. Just for some notes.
He was how I mentioned, he's a well-respected member of society. He was a banker. I don't know how I'm gonna survive now because he was the sole breadwinner of the family. Thankfully, I don't have any kids.
Do you have life insurance?
I don't believe I do.
Not for giant crab people.
You never know. The bank might give me something.
You could make it like frame it. We could just say it was something else. He tripped and fell, and then they'll give you the payout.
Okay, so
anyway, I
you
loved him
need to
very
now
much.
engineer a plausible scenario whereby George died of just not fish people causes. Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah, but he died by someone clawing him through, right?
Yeah.
So oh, should we? No.
He fell on a pipe, tragically.
Let's drag one of these tanks on him, so it looks like he got crushed by a tank instead, and then
What
we
about the hole
can
in the
sue the
chest?
aquarium. Yes.
I'm glad that your priorities are in order. We
I
could
need
die,
to survive.
but if we don't die, at least you'll get a payout.
Who are you suing? Everyone's dead.
I'm
No,
sure
everyone ran away.
somebody owns the aquarium.
Do we
right?
know what happened to everyone else? Are they fine?
Pretty much all ran away, yeah. You're the only people daft enough to have stayed.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't paying much attention.
You didn't believe in
appears to
it
me.
until
Yeah.
2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I was very confused at how they gotten that many actors.
The chat is suggesting that you actually just sell the story of his death to the newspaper for a vast sum of money. I don't know how, Annabelle, you feel about that since you'd probably be writing it.
Sell the headline.
Yeah, I'm
There
fine
you
with
go,
that.
walk
You want to split it? We can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
share
we're
the
women.
payout.
We gotta stick together.
Yeah, yeah.
In this century.
Yeah.
Try not to
19.
swear.
Johnny's t-shirt's having less luck.
Stop drawing attention to it. Okay, so you're not trying to manoeuvre a corpse underneath a tank.
No,
for
I've
insurance
decided to
purposes.
go with what the audience
I'm
said.
going to go deeper into the wherever we are.
What were the other offices? We only explored his office. You said there are other ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got to
Let's see what's
find
going on.
Sammy Steelwool.
Also,
He's a cleaner.
I'd like to point out that
It's not
only
rubbish
one of
shop.
us is currently armed, and I believe that
It's me.
at least half of us should be.
Got a mop.
That's a good
That's
point.
fair.
That
Yeah.
was a good point.
I'd like to go in search of more weapons.
I will also do this.
Okie dokie. You go to, you sort of find various storerooms where they've got just sort of like test tubes in racks and sort of just, lab supplies and all that kind of stuff. And then there's sort of a store where they hold food for, clearly feeding the specimens and stuff like that. And then, yeah, sure enough, you find a
What do they feed the specimens? Out of interest.
corned beef.
No!
Yep.
That's dinner, I suppose.
You also find documentation that reveals that Lauriston actually had shares in the corned beef company, so it's like inside trading,
Oh my
as
god.
well as
I'm a keeping
horrible experiments. Really not a nice person.
Is there a safe? Because then I could just rob money from there, and then I'd be financially stable.
God, we were on your side until you were like, let's rob everything. You're like, oh, poor housewife.
I am gonna end up on the streets, and I'm a well-to-do woman. I'm used to a life of luxury. I can't go back.
Can you just say that he's gone on holiday for ages?
Oh, I could. But then why haven't I gone with him?
Because he's gone fishing.
Okay.
I see what you did.
Hey.
Lots to see.
Zing!
You find basically sort of like an extra storeroom with one more of those like chargy poles. You're not entirely sure like how long they last for, but there's also you find a revolver with 6 rounds.
Mine.
So the Victorians have invented batteries. Is that-
It's sun.
They've invented solar power.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
In the basement.
Pull a block. Just pull a block.
What, to find out if it's plugged in or
Just see
not?
if you have a heart attack or not.
It's just punishment for doing plot holes.
Oh, not
Oh,
that one,
buddy.
not that one.
Oh, buddy.
This plot's got more holes than George does.
Hey! George out of this.
In fairness, there is a point on this planning doc at which I
Oh.
just hit the bullet
There we
point,
are.
etc., etc.
Oh, wow.
Not to give you too big of a peek behind the curtain.
Not to put too fine a point on it.
Yes, you don't have a heart attack. Well done.
Yes.
You're
That is
not-
one of my many achievements
You're
through
not
life.
entirely sure how these stun batten sort of poles work because, you know, like they're incredible new technology, much in the same way that I don't know a fish boy might be quite surprising. But you don't think about it too hard because you've got other things to deal with.
I
like
don't think
get-
about many things too hard.
like potentially getting out alive.
But I'm armed now, right?
Well, it depends. Between you, you've got 2 with the stun buttons and 1 pistol. So one of you is going unarmed.
Can I just have the bleach, the really strong bleach?
Yes.
Just have the bottle.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to decant it into the little sprayer.
Yes. Spritz them to death.
Like a bad cat. No. Dude.
No! Get yourself a newspaper and you're rolling.
Okie dokie. All right then. So as you start to leave this last room, you hear what can only be described as a roar coming from the corridor back towards where you would
I got you.
you would go back up into the main body of the aquarium. You know, your exit route basically. You hear just this thunderous snarling sound. And as you sort of stand there, you see out of the darkness comes this enormous sort of orange-coloured. It looks kind of like a tentacle. It kind of slams into the wall.
You've got like 8 of them behind you.
Yeah.
Oh my god! It slams into the wall, and then another one slams into the wall.
They're
like
also
that.
attached to your head.
It's been my favourite
And then
thing.
another one slams in there, and sort of you realise that basically you are now in a very tight tunnel with an absolutely colossal starfish that completely
so
fills
cute.
the whole thing and is pulling itself towards you, just screaming.
I charged it baton first.
Ryrie! Oh, you fool!
They're
As I'm
friendly.
doing it, the speakers malfunction and the Flight of the Valkyries starts playing.
I'm assuming you're humming. I want to say that Veronica has said, actually, gas batteries were around since 1824.
Wow.
Thank you, Veronica.
There you go.
Thank you, Veronica.
Did it Google or did you
So,
know that?
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, that's good because that means my weapon will work.
Okay, I'm not like I'm tempted to make you pull 2, but to be honest, it is filling this corridor. It's going to be hard to stick it with.
Oh yeah, let's see if I survive afterwards. I reckon that'll be the question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he might die now, it's fine.
I'll at least get some. Oh, one stun in.
Oh boy.
Oh,
There we are.
Oh,
It's fine.
nice. Nice and easy.
Yeah, do me another.
Oh, I knew that was coming. Can I just say that? No, it's all good. All good.
Lord.
The first one.
I told you you're a fool!
Ah!
Yeah, in fairness, you do make contact with the stun button. It kind of drives into the centre of the starfish, which then just flips one of its tentacles and basically smashes you into the wall. Sort of grabs hold of you and then just like bang, and just sort of just keeps going boom, 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 and throws you back down the corridor toward the surviving party members.
oh,
And
this
you-
is your best performance yet.
Byron's corpse skids to a
5
halt.
stars.
It's just like, yeah, and there is still very much a large angry starfish
I'm glad
on
it.
your way.
Sorry.
I'm just going to wipe up the skid mark of the blood.
I'm charging at it to
So I get
revenge.
like
Have you
a.
not learned?
Do I get any dying
No.
words?
Yeah, of course you do. What do you like? You basically you skid to a halt, kind of like when mechanics pull themselves out from under the car, and like the camera angle's right above them, and they get to say something pithy. That, but you're dying.
Wow.
I was supposed to be in a play tomorrow. I want you to tell my co-star he's a hack.
Byron!
So, bye.
Byron!
Yeah, bye.
So, as Dragon Georgia said in the
Bye.
chat, Byron gave his best and his last performance. And,
He finally
died.
did something useful.
Now the most fun bit of the game, cleaning up after the death.
Well, you guys crack on. I'll clean
Oh,
up.
do we have to
seeing as I'm
rebuild
dead.
it?
We have to
Yeah.
rebuild the tower. And
You
Okay.
guys carry on. I'll do it because I'm dead.
And then
It's
to
fine.
keep the
Okay.
tension up, I would like to ask every person still alive to pull me 3 blocks.
Oh.
After it's been completed.
Yeah, after it's been. Yeah. If it falls during that period, your character won't die. It's just we need to make sure the tower's gonna. That was a
Wobbly.
5 starfish performance. So it's not group that. Lots of Fs in the chat.
Excellent.
Dreadwolfie has asked if it's like Hulk slamming Loki around. Yeah, pretty much. Like, there was this for a giant monstrous starfish. It had pretty good comic
Weak
timing.
hair on my arms.
Snowman.
Right.
Don't have all
Um,
day here.
And I'm not sure.
Jesus,
quite sure how to
she is
say
good at
this,
Jenga.
But whoa, what?
She's just doing it.
Oh,
Like,
Boom, boom,
Oh no,
boom,
yeah,
boom,
that's yeah.
boom.
That's,
yeah, I know, but I was. All right.
Don't have all day. with
Carry on the
us.
RPG. There are people at home that need entertaining.
yeah. So we'll get onto the pulling of the.
We're missing.
Oh,
Oh, there
down
it is.
here.
Oh no,
Oh,
there's
there's
more.
two.
Yeah.
Oh, there one more.
There we go.
And
And then if everyone who's still alive calls me 3.
I'll just fix it first.
At once, or do you want us to take turns? Oh, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you do. do both.
Doesn't matter.
All at the same time.
Lovely.
Risky. Maybe that's like the grand finale.
Yeah.
Okay.
what do I do now?
You can just sort of stand around and be wheels. Just
I'll
like,
read the chat.
you know, yeah, okay. Actually,
Oh, are
that'd
you
be
doing all
quite useful
3?
for me.
I thought each one of us do it. No.
I don't think
Well,
it doesn't really matter.
Oh,
Because if
okay.
it falls over,
Because
then we
if it
just.
falls over. I mean, yeah. It's, yeah.
Oh, I'd pull 4.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, well, one of you
Fair
only has
enough.
to pull 2.
Okay. Well, I was going to charge at the starfish to avenge Byron Bay.
And your husband.
Oh yeah.
Well, he didn't. The starfish didn't kill my husband. I already killed the thing that killed my husband. That's
Ooh,
me.
You're
did
over
you?
him
Oh,
very
that was
quickly.
wobbly.
No.
Mhm.
This is me just, admin.
Also accidentally pulled 4.
Wow.
So
Well, each of us are pulling 4.
No, 3. But
We just
we're just
Wow.
extra.
That's fine.
Have you pulled
We're-
it?
So I
it's
just got to do
it's
one.
half 4
Just-
anyway.
yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
Whoa. This is
They're difficult now.
not as loose as before, I gotta say.
Ooh, we have a super chat from Josh Bunton who says, "Will Patrick Starr smash another victim? No one knows. Stay tuned."
Okay, so are you going to charge it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Great.
Yeah, I mean, the first one went swimmingly.
it's a 2-block pull, as same as it was last time.
Got it, babe.
I do have a gun. So
Yeah, just-
She's got this.
It's
Too
just,
late.
Let her have her moment.
she's just going to feed herself to the starfish, I assume. I once was in a game of Dread where somebody died drawing a gun. And shot themselves in the heart. It was amazing.
Do starfish have mouths? What
Yeah, I
is a
think so.
starfish?
On the other side, right?
Do they really-
What is
Have you seen a starfish moving? It's terrifying.
No.
They
No,
like,
by the way.
they're like, imagine the 5 limbs of the starfish. Some of the limbs come up and then tiny little tentacles crawl it along the floor underneath.
They're really
That's
horrible.
amazing.
It's horrible.
They're really grim. It's sort of why I pick them, because I don't like them. There are lots of things in the ocean I don't like.
Jellyfish. Oh,
Yeah.
I hate jellyfish.
Jellyfish are awful. They're just
But they're not creatures. I don't get it. Like,
They're
they
just
don't have a
blobs.
brain. They're
Gaten-
multiple creatures? Sorry, the sea confuses me.
It confuses us all.
Gator Nukes has highlighted their message with 100 meeples and says, dive through its mouth, sword first, and slice your way out from the inside. Brackets, that's how it always happens in the movies. I mean, it was another 2 blocks if you want to just completely emerge from the...
Yeah, sure,
the
let's do it.
Wow, okay, yeah, cool.
I'm a badass now. I've gone from housewife to bad. I want to be like
Housewave is a new genre.
I want to be like the people in the novels that I read.
Fair enough.
That was lovely.
Also, my life has been really boring, so I'm just like thirsty for adventure at this point.
Yeah, fair enough.
Even if it kills
Oh
me.
man, Emma
And also,
Bunton
I've got
says-
nothing left to live for.
Wait, Emma Bunton?
Emma Benton.
Oh,
Oh.
She's still great, don't get me wrong.
sorry,
We
Emma.
love Emma
Um,
Benton.
She says we should have included a mantis shrimp because those things are terrifying and great.
Yes.
They are. They're horrible. You've done it then?
Mhm.
All right then. So yeah, you just see, and it's sort of like, well, you describe it. Go on.
Oh Lord! No, you describe it. Go on.
But it's your mo. Okay, fine. She sort of like, she jumps and it's like it's almost like she takes off. Like something immensely powerful has been pulling on the stun button, but actually she's just leaping into this starfish. And at first you think all is lost, like all of the tentacles close in, it looks like she's just fed herself to it. And then like the starfish is sort of moving and then it stops. And then it jerks once and twice and 3 times and then suddenly she just bursts from inside it, like holding this thing up like a Valkyrie covered in gore. And it's just like, hello. I don't, what do you say? You can at least do me that bit.
Oh God! I haven't come up with a catchphrase.
I mean, it's probably better than hello.
Something about a star.
Oh, I don't know. I just go.
A star is born.
A star is born.
There you go.
There we go. I got you.
Despite the fact you've just made another massive mess in the aquarium.
Oh!
In fairness, this isn't your beat, so you're probably like, maybe you're just like,
What would you rather,
Not my
mess
job.
or death? Mess or death?
It's a fine line.
Fair enough.
They equate each other sometimes.
Maybe.
You've never used that giant plunger.
Now that you're out of a job here, maybe you could clean my house.
Okay.
I'm gonna need a
How
cleaner.
dirty are you? Your house. How dirty is your house?
Well, now that my husband is dead, it probably won't be that dirty actually. So you'll get a lot of free time.
Nice. You're looking for a husband?
Mm,
Oh, awkward.
yes, but not so much you. You have a wife, you told me.
Oh, oh yeah. No, I'm good. No.
Okay.
I was asking for a friend.
Oh, okay.
My brother.
No, thank you.
okay. So you like the starfish sort of as it dies, sort of just sort of like the bits hanging onto the ceiling and the walls sort of just hit the deck. And you reckon you'd have to climb over it, but you can get past it. And in fact, that sounds like quite a good idea because a few things happen in very quick succession. Firstly, you hear the unmistakable sound of an absolutely enormous plunger going.
Oh no.
Oh, I know that sound.
A lot of like water that was clearly building up behind the plunger starts to absolutely flood into the room. You also hear just some tremendous roaring and shrieking as if every single creature that is in this horrible basement lab has heard the starfish cockpit, and they're like, we're going to sort this out,
Oh
actually.
no.
That's its mum. That's everyone's mum.
What, starfish?
Yeah, we murdered Mummy Starfish.
I've always wanted to be a mum.
Not a starfish. Should we head off?
Should we run?
Yeah, should we go?
Should we go? Let's leave.
We're going now.
Can we use the starfish to like block the route behind us?
We'll just throw it like a Mario
kind
Kart
of
with the
like push it up
bananas.
behind us.
Yeah, it's,
To almost plunge the way.
everyone who's
Push
going
it
to help
real
try and
good.
block the way with a dead starfish, pull me a block.
Come on, guys.
Everyone that's helping. If you're just going to stand back and be like, I don't like
I mean,
it,
I just
then
killed
fine.
it, so I think I've done my job.
Oh,
You're just
no.
brushing your hands.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot of fur.
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh no. Okay. Well, that's a block. Okay.
Wheels.
Good job on that starfish, by the way.
Should I turn it up a little bit? Because I'm a little bit freezing.
Oh, you coward.
Are you cold?
It's quite cold.
Okay.
I'm putting it up to 20
Pick up-
degrees from 18.
Yes,
That's
thank
it.
you. Because I'm like,
My
Well,
hands are
I'm
like
trying not
ice
to-
It's
now.
out of
Yeah, me
bread.
too.
Wow, they really are. So let's
Yeah.
just turn it off for a bit. It is
Yeah.
quite cold.
mine are as well. Oh, I've got pockets.
Oh, that's the best when that happens.
I'm so excited now. Oh, I've got one pocket.
Lovely. Okay, so who knew that a journalist in a clinic could be so efficient with an absolutely enormous sea creature? But basically, you just like you run up together and taking sort of like a running kick, you sort of just yeet it into the
Crushed it.
corridor and form this like perfect flesh bung that sort of just like seals it off, and you run away. You run away down the corridor. Sort of, you emerge back into the hall where your brother was so horribly taken from you.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, exactly. you start. Presume, are you just heading for the exit now, or?
I think we should leave.
I think we should
Okay.
leave also. Let's all go to my house.
Sleepover.
Let's have a wait. You start absolutely cheesing it toward the exit. As you run, water starts splashing around your feet and then eventually around your ankles. The whole aquarium
filthy.
seems to be flooding very, very quickly.
My shoes.
Like some of the, you know, I mentioned that there were some exhibits that were still curtained. Like you can hear thrashing noises from inside those, and you think that maybe those things are getting wise to it as well. Indeed, sod it, one of the walls explodes and a mantis shrimp comes out, and it's enormous because like they are really cool and scary, to be fair. You're just sort of legging it away from all of these creatures, I'm guessing. Everyone pull me a block to just make sure you don't fall over and get eaten.
Oh God.
Ooh.
I know.
A lot of
It's
love
too
for
much of a
dresses with
risk.
pockets, by the way.
Oh, my heart jumped.
There's a lot of love for dresses with pockets.
Yes,
Yes.
I only have
So I
one
just
pocket
realised
though, which
talking
is
about
so
fashion
weird.
when people are pulling blocks to stay alive is kind of counterintuitive. Sorry.
Only the one though.
That's
Very
annoying.
strange, yeah. Kind of have to
It's
put
weird.
Everything
very
on one
strange.
side.
Yeah, I've never experienced anything like it. Oh God.
Just give it a sec. Let the dust settle.
You mean the fur? Oh, please don't die.
I'm so close.
But in a way, it would be great for womankind.
I think, yeah, for sure.
Yes, it would be a huge triumph for womankind if the underpaid cleaner died.
Hey, look. If you want to start picking apart Victorian class systems and how inherently wrong they were, fine.
Oh no, let's go next!
Well done.
Oh, you can't kill me. I am very important.
She has
Who are we gonna go
pockets.
to?
I have pockets, for God's sake.
Yes, well.
Let the very gentle poking begin.
I'm poking it so gently and it's like moving so much. It's actually crazy.
To which that is absolutely holding its breath.
I've just seen the Davo, Asmodee Davo Rage, which I'm a big fan of. What an emote.
Hey!
Okay, you all like sort of leg it and the.
Well, I feel like we should try and finish them off. So what you usually do with seafood is boil it, like with shrimps and crabs. You
Yeah.
put them in a big hot tub. So can I turn the thermostat up to max before I go? So I cook everything.
Yes. I tell you what, you leg it to the wall where there is a thermostat, a potentially anachronistic thermostat. Shut up. On the wall, and you turn it up, and you're like, you're not quite sure that's going to do it, and then as you sort of stand there, like scratching your head, for not very long because you are in mortal peril. The lights flicker overhead, and you're like, hang on a minute. Like, there's an awful lot of high voltage lighting going on here, sort of strung across with these big thick cords, but, you know, like, there's an awful lot of current going on just above your heads. And, you know, if you can't boil something, you could always fry it.
Question.
Yeah.
Are we also stood in the water?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying there aren't obstacles.
Rubber?
What?
The plungers. We could get one of those giant
You have
plungers
to-
and use it as a raft.
Do you have another one in your
Yes.
back pocket? Is there?
I have to plunge the giant shark tanks.
You've been
They're
working.
filthy.
You've been working here for a very long time.
Yeah.
Well, 2 years since it was bought out, and like basically your janitor expenses are all done on like capex. So if you don't spend it, you lose it. So yeah, you've got loads of plungers, massive.
Open a
ones.
cupboard and it's just
A
whoosh.
sea of plungers, just like.
But I have a quick question. What happens if the tower falls when no one's pulling? I'm just like being a bit paranoid
It's
right
sort
now.
of like you determine whose fault it is.
Okay, I'm standing way back here then.
Washing my hands.
Right, go on then.
I mean, if it had fallen then, I would have made you flip a coin, basically. So, yeah. Oh, surely the cleaner would have wellies. No, I don't think you have
No,
any.
you're
You're
in a
wearing a
tux.
suit, yeah.
Yeah, you're in a tux which has a Viking costume underneath it.
Yeah.
I still haven't expressed I am your biggest fan and you've died.
Yeah, you don't seem very
God.
mortified.
You should pretend to be him.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Can we say that you just torn off your rented
I'm
tux?
here!
Sing
Amazing.
us a rendition of one of your favourite songs.
I don't watch movies, this is really hard. A whole new world. A whole new me. Oh, yes.
Aw.
There we go.
So we're now just going to call you Byron too,
Oh, wow.
or Byron the second. That
Yeah, I'll
sounds a bit
take
better,
that.
doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not Byron B, is it? You know, that would have been worse. Byron Brillo does have a certain ring to it.
It does, yeah. It's like it was meant to be.
Byron Brillo.
I'm rolling in my grave.
You are actually being kicked by quite a lot of sea creatures, so you are rolling
My
over. and
watery
over as
grave,
they sort
yeah.
of just like move past you in fairness.
Byron.
So yeah, it's factually accurate. You've got a bunch of plungers. What are you going to do next?
I'm going to give one to all of us.
Thanks.
If you can just take the stick off and use it as a... No, keep it, because you can use it as a paddle. And then we're going to, like, sit in it. One each.
It's like coracles. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. All right.
I mean, this seems really silly. I feel like we should just leave. But okay. I mean,
No, I think it's great. I think it's really good.
We're ready.
Okay, so the water level is rising. There are creatures sort of starting to amass in the room.
They're just confused.
And while
They're
there
like,
are a
what is
couple that
going
sort
on?
of seem a bit more feisty than anything else, it's almost like the others are waiting for something. Strange. I would like you all to pull a block.
Oh no, no!
I'm
Is
going
it?
first
How bad
this
is
time.
it? I don't care.
I'd just like to point out that Fruitbat has also said that Davo should pull a block for identity theft.
And what? Like you can't reconcile yourself with your new identity, so you just stop. Oh.
It breaks me.
When the three thing rule,
Top
I mean-
three. That one's off limits.
this one,
Yeah.
but that's not
No, the
top
top
three.
one is the top
Oh
one is
no,
a
that one's
complete
fine.
row. Yeah.
Sorry.
Because that's the only one that'll work.
Oofed.
Jenga!
Wooden stack blocks.
It's fine to admit that Jenga's a game that exists. We talk about games on our channels all
Isn't
the
it?
time.
No, I'm saying, isn't it
Minimum
the joke
size
in the
couple.
Dread
Oh, it is in the
book?
manual.
Yeah, that you're not, because they're not officially licensed by Jenga or
It's
whatever.
a stackable block. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember now. Sorry, I've just caught up with the joke. And you first told that joke at like.
The start of the stream.
I'm just going to keep
Am I just
rowing.
doing one?
Yeah, just one.
I'm rowing.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh.
No, this is the
Big
one.
plays all day.
Oh my god.
You're doing great.
Thanks. No, it's gonna go.
Wheels.
You've got this. You've
Okay,
got this.
it's fine.
You've got
It's fine.
this.
Nobody
You were
panic.
so casual in yours, Wills. You were like, so anyway, the whoop, and you just sent it through the roof.
That's the most Byron move possible.
Well done, all of you. You have managed to basically paddle, and keep yourselves upright, relatively close together. And occasionally, when a creature has come up and tried to sort of, overturn you, you've managed to. That's very risky when the tower is this rickety, but you've managed to keep them
Live life on the edge.
at bay. The chat is genuinely quite impressed by your skills, by the way. I mean,
Thank you.
oh, LazyBoy00 says, "Oh, now you listen to your deceased husband's advice and try to leave. It only took 2 deaths,
Including
Point.
his.
He's a coward, but I do love him.
Not anything anymore.
Even in death.
He was a 10-minute MacGuffin." Anyway, so you are now basically the water level is rising to the point where you're starting to get within reach of the power cords. So
Oh my lord.
you reckon you might be able to electrify the water if that's still the plan.
What's our exit plan?
I thought you had one.
I mean, you produced the plungers. We just followed.
Yeah.
Well, I presume, where's the doorway? Because, like, the water's going to be going out the doorway soon. The front door.
I was really hoping nobody would mention that.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I
Physics.
thought the door was open, actually.
But is it still? It's been a while.
You're in a basement though, right?
So, not in a basement anymore, back in the...
Yeah, we're
are you?
upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Come on, pay attention.
I mean,
Will.
you're dead in the basement, but
dead
we've
in the
left.
basement.
I'm reading this fantastic chat.
Right.
Don't worry about it, is how I'd pass that bit. The rest was still rising because there's so much water.
Okay.
Much more than could be possibly heading out the door.
It's a teeny tiny door.
Are there like
Tiny
windows at the top of this aquarium?
You could use the stick.
Yeah.
Genuinely, in Brighton Aquarium,
A
there
skylight.
aren't.
Huh. I'm going to check that later.
I don't think there are, anyway.
Does not believe.
It's been a while since I've been.
You know you can Google this, right? You've got a laptop.
Should we give him a
It's
ring?
1892. We're live streaming to the lovely Victoria. All right. Are there windows?
Do you know what, Johnny, mate? Do you want to carry on? I'll do that.
Yeah, all right. I mean, there are loads. Yeah, okay.
Got blood everywhere.
Because otherwise, we could just kind of dip the end of the wire in and be like, boop.
I'm going to stop listening to you because you got us into this situation. And I feel like there's no exit plan right now.
Yeah, but like, the monsters would chase you home.
I
If you
don't
didn't
think they
kill
would.
them.
They're water animals.
Yeah, but where do you live?
I
Just down
live
the
on top
street.
of a hill.
No. So, and water famously can't flow up hills. What if the world floods?
I'll be on top of a hill.
How are we going to get out after we electrocute the water? Because we can't then just like
But just
swim
wait.
down.
Just wait.
For what?
I haven't thought this through.
I know! That's
None
what
of you
I'm
really
saying.
has much time to think anything
Right, do we have
through.
windows at the top? Anyone?
Are there?
I don't think there are windows.
Oh, Lord.
Oh dear.
Oh, you will
At
be
least-
the death of me.
Not in the exhibit hall, anyway.
No.
Right, well, it's up to you. You're the one who...
Oh, there are lovely vaulted ceilings, though.
Mm.
I forgot about
It's
those.
really pretty.
It's very
mean,
nice.
I've never been. I just
We
really
can break
hoping.
in after this.
Oh, great.
Take last entry.
I'm going to grab a big wire and just dunk it.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, my...
There's no plan.
Great! Excellent.
Shall we stick together?
Yes.
Yeah.
Should we
If,
call
when he dies, we'll do this.
Yeah.
2 blocks? Does that sound fair?
Yes.
Yeah,
please.
sure.
I think he needs to die at this point.
Wow!
Hello.
They are guests.
Go! Okay.
I mean, admittedly, yesterday when we streamed in their house, I was dead. But
I just think he got us into a very bad situation. And I
just-
don't want to die because of your recklessness.
You're just saving the world. You're being a martyr.
If he dies, we can use him as a paddleboard. It's fine. Just,
I don't think paddleboarding exists yet.
well, not with that attitude.
Well,
Well,
it's
it
about
has to
to
be
be
invented sometime.
invented.
Invented by Annabelle. what's her
And
name?
Anna.
And Anna.
Annabelle.
Annabella. Annabella.
Yeah, I love how we picked archery and almost the same first
I know,
name.
that was weird.
Wonder what else is the same. Did your sister commit suicide when you stole her fiance?
No.
Okay,
I did
cool.
leave someone at the altar, though. So,
One of the, for those
there you go.
watching in the audience, one of the questions on the questionnaire was, what's the worst thing you've ever done to a loved one? And Loli's went real dark with it. That's one!
Oh Lord. I mean, I do want you to survive, but
Girl, do you though?
I
Didn't
it was
feel like you
it was
did.
a joke, you know.
Lord Pontos on Twitch makes a very good point. He shared his plungers with you.
Yeah.
He did. to
Where
be
would
fair.
you be without him?
I mean,
Well, I would
not
be
up
outside.
here. Outside, we'd have left.
Outside.
Josh?
Josh Bunton says Byron should heroically sacrifice himself, which
As
I
in-
technically did.
Byron the second.
This-
Oh,
Byron
sorry,
too.
yeah, my
Byron
bad.
Briller.
Not all about you.
Never mind.
Byron B.
He's just done it anyway.
Wow.
Woo boy. Thank you.
Okie dokie. Yeah, basically you manage to wrench this cable out and you throw it javelin-like into the water, and the entire aquarium lights up for a few seconds, and there is this tremendous like zzz noise, and like steam starts to rise from the surface of the water, and then things start to rise from underneath, and then smoke starts to rise from those things, and then the power shorts, and everything is black. And then for the next few minutes, you're in total darkness. All you can hear, apart from the noises you're making, we'll get to you making noises. You can just hear the sound of water sort of draining away,
Oh yes.
and you can hear the sound of your own breathing,
Everything's
and obviously
coming.
anything you want to say to one another. Wow. Oh, that was horrible. I mean, it was horrible to just be in the room. I don't know what it would have been like to have that on the stream, but
Have
sure.
you brushed today?
Oh.
God, I was kidding.
Reached the top of
Shade's
it.
been thrown.
Blocks have reached the top of the screen Wheels? Could
Yes,
you
I can
reframe
see
the
it.
tower?
I think.
With
Reframe.
My God, is it that tall?
I feel like it's probably going to go down very soon.
Yeah.
To be fair.
God, it's like Icarus.
Which, for anyone watching,
Is
on
a game I
Twitch.tv,
reviewed.
Twitch.tv Live is
More available when you click the links below. At the
we're so good at this.
Distributed by Asmodee.
Edward Horseman says, "Wow, that's very conductive water." Yes, it's been experimented on. Good.
Does it have salt in it?
Yeah, which makes it more conductive.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that better?
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I
Twitch
gotcha.
chat? I can look. It's fine.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So yeah, sort of eventually you feel a slight bump underneath your impromptu coracles, and you've hit sort of, you know, not the seafloor. You're back on the floor of the aquarium, and you're free to move around.
I climb out and I brush myself off and I go, let's go.
Is it still like really dark?
Pitch black.
Oh. We should call for each other and try and find each
Oh,
other,
yeah.
and
Like
then
a
move
bat.
as a unit.
Not like a bat.
Not like a bat. I mean, maybe like a bat.
Is that the...
That's the one. I don't know.
That's very, which,
Alyssa Edwards.
yeah, it's very Alyssa Edwards.
Wow.
It's actually quite hard to do. Anyway,
Yeah, this isn't it. Anyway, so let's just make those noises at each other.
Anna! R&B!
Okay.
we find,
Only humans
we
have
find
derived
each other
some-
Yeah,
through
we're,
making those
we're
noises.
fine. You're
We
just on your
find each
own.
other through making that noise.
What is that noise?
You successfully find one another, and then through your rapidly developing skills of echolocation, you start to sort of like head down the corridor, and as you sort of proceed, you see like the doors are wide open to the aquarium, and like there's a whole bunch of just dead sea creatures out the front, sort of going even up the stairs. But you can see sort of like, you know, it's you can see outside, like there are some lights kind of coming from near the pier and stuff like that, and you start to make your way through the door, and then suddenly a shape appears in front of you and silhouettes itself.
What's the shape?
It's Ned, and
Oh.
he sort
I
of
forgot about
stops.
him.
Who's Ned again?
How
The-
diddly
the
do,
fish-
neighbour?
Bad one.
You all freeze for a second, and he very slowly reaches out a hand, and Annabelle, as you sort of like,
I slap
So-
it down.
he doesn't pay attention. He's like,
Slap harder, slap harder.
he
not
reaches
doing it again, just in
into
case.
the pocket of your jacket, and he pulls out. He sort of like rifles through it for a bit, and then pulls out one item. And
Oh.
Oh, okay.
it
It's a
is
thing.
a photograph of your brother, Norriston.
Was this a magic trick?
And he's no.
Okay.
He's looking for it, and he found it. And you sort of looks at it, and you've never seen an eel emote, but you can swear from the set of like his shoulders. He sort of looks at it. He's looking at it almost tenderly, and he looks at you all. And then with almost superhuman speed, he tears off and just starts sprinting toward the sea. And you sort of look over as he sort of jumps off the pier, and then you hear a distant splash, and then you see something disappear into the night.
Not my
And
problem.
miraculously, you've all survived, except Wheels.
Yeah!
Nicely done.
You can win, Dread?
Yeah, you can survive Dread. I
Oh,
really thought
right.
it was going to kill a lot more.
Should we do like one pull each just to see how long we would have survived?
Well, like an
Happily ever
epilogue.
after.
Like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
If we slip up the stairs on the way.
So we've
Let's
all
see if
just,
you're fraud.
just
put you
to
in
get it
prison.
clear, we've all survived. This is just for fun.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
like the epilogue, like to see how long you live.
Okay, so I'm walking home,
Oh, you're talking like minutes now.
Okay.
That's how long
Yeah.
we live.
Well, let's see how we get on.
and you see me like going to the flower market, and I buy flowers the next day. And weeks later, I meet a man, and I fall in love with
I
him.
cannot wait to start running a campaign on this channel. It's going to be a nightmare. Carry on.
All right, I'm gonna go first. Is what I'm trying to say.
Power play.
Why have I done this? This is a terrible idea. There is nothing left to take.
What about
Well,
this
you've
one that's
committed
sticking
now.
out?
I
It's
believe
blue
that's
below.
sticking out because for
Oh no, it did
Oh, yeah,
that.
it's done.
reason.
Yeah, okay.
Literally
reckon-
everything is done.
Oh, go.
Yeah. There's only these, and they're all solid.
I reckon
as
you
a
need to
rock.
take a solid one.
Can you? No.
No,
that
that's
doesn't work.
No.
You committed, lollies.
I know I have. I'm gonna die next. And then I fall. Then I meet this man, and his name is Stuart. I fall in love, and I finally get pregnant, which I've always wanted, and I die in childbirth. So
Oh my god, Lolies!
it's Victorian times, okay?
It's a fun live stream.
It was.
Oh, maybe I
Oh no, you don't. Nothing Alex just said is canon.
don't. I live a happy life.
Wow.
The end.
Apart from all the fact of being a woman in Victorian times.
Yes. I live as happy a life as I can.
Wow, that got dark.
I mean, you read my profile. It's pretty dark to start.
Yeah, but I thought that was the end of it.
I mean, I didn't die in childbirth, so it's fine. I really didn't think that was going to work.
Oh my god.
No.
Heroic death.
You're not even touching
Yeah.
it and it's wobbling.
What's happening to me? Well, I'm going home to my wife, and I feel like, oh, hun, you would not guess the day that I've had. It's been awful.
The place is a mess. I have so much work to do tomorrow.
Filthy.
Do you do that, Bertie? Or do you start a new life basically living as an opera singer?
Oh, yeah.
Well, should we find out?
Let's find out.
I shall say nothing.
That's not the one. That's not the one.
I think me and Lolies have just had the same idea. I don't know.
Interesting.
Can I just knock it over? No, but then I die.
Well, no, you can knock it over and be like, I have a successful career on the stage. And then
Oh, you've done 3 rows. Thanks, hun.
Gotcha, babe.
yeah.
I gotcha.
Oh, this is real.
Doesn't work either.
None of
Maybe
those-
maybe one of the 4th rows now works. I don't know. Does the weight shift? I don't know how Jenga works.
And yet, you're Haggerson's third best player.
Homerton.
Homerton, sorry.
Oh, I really think
Ah.
you could do
I used
this.
to live in
I
Homerton.
don't.
I believe in you.
It's all right.
Yes. I believe in you, Byron. You've got a great life ahead of you.
Yeah. I'll write you
Forget
a
about your
5-star
wife.
Oh, my
review.
God.
You could do this.
Oh my goodness.
Byron passes away at the age of 94, having become one of the world's best loved performers, and for a very short stint, a not very effective member of parliament. He just decided to try politics at one point, and they were like, I'll go back to
Give it a
touring.
go.
Eventually, it was old age and gout what done it.
That's a
because,
nice way to
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Aww.
What, gout?
Oh, and we remained friends throughout.
Yeah, we're texting.
Wow,
Oh, no, we're
we-
writing letters.
It's like, yeah, I'll stay
Telegramming.
friends with friends.
Wow, okay.
Okay, go for it.
See if I'm in the friendship group, if I'm in the WhatsApp chat.
Oh no, I feel really horrible for doing these.
Oh, I
In fact-
think this one's okay.
Oh,
I say
Really?
that. I have no idea.
I hope it is, because I feel like it would be great if we all survived at this point.
Yes, all of us.
oh!
I can't believe that just happened.
We're the 3 best friends
Oh my
that
God.
anybody could have. We're the
Your
3 best friends.
expose on what went on in the museum was a topic of national debate for an international debate for years to come. It made your career.
Best-selling novel. She read it.
There you go.
And you wrote about my husband, and we split
some
money.
money. Yeah.
We became wealthy
Yeah.
together.
I sung an opera about it. Spooky, spooky.
Wealthy
opera.
people all around.
Best buds.
Yeah, and Brighton. Let's say Brighton's Opera House. Not that there is ever has been one, as far as I'm aware. Sod it. Is haunted forevermore by the ghost of a very pissed off man.
Spiteful
It's
ghost.
haunted by the smell of fish and a man who insists on that he is dead, despite the fact he is clearly alive and well and performing. I tell you, I am Byron, and they're like, no, he's alive. He's just alive. So no one ever believes you. God, that's sad. Do you want to get back in there and we can sign
Yeah,
off this whole
come
thing?
in.
Come in.
Come on.
You might have died, but you died
Come, Wheels.
heroically.
You're not dead in our hearts.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the end of our second
That was great.
Halloween live stream. I hope you all enjoyed Dread. That was weird but fun.
Yeah,
That was good. Fun.
Good, and hopefully everyone at home watching enjoyed it as well. So thank you all for playing, and to you at home for watching.
Thank you.
So you wanted to sign off?
And a round of applause for our master of ceremonies.
No.
The man surrounded by orange felt.
It's so luxurious. But yeah, is it like, I mean, obviously, you know, the channel is something that would be good for you to plug. But is there anything else you want to plug? Like,
What's happening, Abs? What are we doing?
Oh,
We're doing all kinds of board games. So if you guys have enjoyed generally just having fun, come over and visit us. We're Asmodee Live. We do all kinds of board games and streams. We've just come back from Spiel, which is the world's biggest board game convention, and we streamed for 33 hours.
It's all going up on YouTube now. And the more towards Sunday it gets, the weirder it gets as well.
That's not a costume. That's literally just, that's your face right
that's
now.
just your face.
Yeah, so that'd be awesome. Yeah, come and say hi, and then all of our guys who are listening on Twitch, go say hi to them because they're pretty cool dudes as well.
Let's all be friends.
Friendship is magic.
Yay.
If you're watching on Asmodee Live on Twitch, head on over to Dicebreaker on YouTube.com. And if you're watching on Dicebreaker on YouTube.com, head over to Asmodee Live on Twitch, but also on YouTube.com. Thanks very much for watching, and have a lovely day. And I'm going to go turn the stream off now.
What's that voice?
/Asmodee Live.
Yesterday, I mean, it's www.dicebreaker.tv. No, what was it?
Oh, you really screwed it yesterday.
Anyway, you know what's up
YouTube.com/Dicebreaker.
If you just give it a Google, as we like to say
Give
on
it
our
a
channel.
Google.
Thanks for
It's all
coming,
fine.
guys.
You'll find
Fine.
it.
Thank you for coming.
And guess what?
What?
Woo!
Happy